Yo, we back, boys? Can you hear me? Yo, we're back, right? You're good? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to fix it, man. I'm just trying to do right by the Twitch guys. I feel really bad. I got some subscribers over there, and I'm not even able to freaking stream for them. You know, hopefully you guys are used to the scuff streams at this point, and it's still not fixed, man. Twitch, everybody watching on Twitch, I'm really sorry that it's not working over there. I got to figure that out. I didn't change anything. I didn't touch anything, so very strange. We're over on YouTube though. If you want to go hang out with us on YouTube. Sounds good? Okay. So, what were we saying, man? We're trying to jump back into this. Talking about pre-raid BIS. We're talking about thinking for yourself. We're talking about not taking the pre-raid, the BIS list at face value. Think for yourself. Try and itemize, you know, just using your own brain. So yeah, this is one thing I'd recommend. Break what you need down by dungeon. So if people are saying, oh, you want to do Strath, you want to do Elbers, you want to do UBRS, you want to do Blackrock Depths, you want to do Sunken Temple even, you know what you need, and it's displayed for you that way as well. So you know what 4 or 5 things you might need, or 3 or 4 things, or maybe you don't need anything in the dungeon at all, so there's no point to even do it. Okay, I'm getting that too. One second. Alright, that should be better. Question, Gnomish or Goblin for PvP? Also, what's the best way to pick a decent server? That's a good question. So let's talk about that too. Gnomish or Goblin? I have some slides for that prepared as well, because that's going into my thought process as well. So here we go. Gnomish engineering, Goblin engineering. These are the main core things that I want right now from these two things. From Gnomish, this is big. This is big. From Gnomish, I want the Netomatic projector. I want the Gnomish rocket boots, the Gnomish battle chicken, and that's pretty much it. Those are the main things that I really personally want. So ideally, you get everything you need from Gnomish, and then you go over to Goblin, because Goblin allows you to make sapper charges, right? But that's the other thing too. In phase 1, sapper charges with my low ass health, they hit you so hard. F to the Twitch brethren, come and sit YouTube side. We have work to do. Thank you very much for the $5, Bunny. Appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Thank you for that nice, generous donation.
F to the Twitch brethren, come and sit YT side. We have work to do.
Gnomish to Bops.
Lesson 3.
Then re-level it to Goblin. Then you get everything. Yup, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Some people are doing it the other way around though. They're going Goblin, and then they're going Gnomish, and then they're going. Man, okay, I'm Horde, right? And Horde get access to a really cool, let me pull it up, man. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. You guys can see this. Let's see if you can see it. It's called Horned Viking Helm. I think that's what it's called. You guys see this, right? Let me try and move it into the chat a little bit. Can you not see that? Let me pull it up on the browser then. Horned Viking Helm. Anybody ever heard of Horned Viking Helm? Okay. Alright, there we go. Horned Viking Helm. So, Horned Viking Helm is Horde only, right? Because you have to kill the, whatchamacallits, the dwarves, the Lost Vikings in Uldaman. So, if you kill the dwarves in Uldaman, they have a chance to drop this. 50%. Is it a 50% chance? Holy shit, dude. That's insane. But if I was a warrior on a Horde and I could get Horned Viking Helm, I would just go probably Gnomish and maybe just stay Gnomish for a little while. Just because you get basically a kind of a free rocket helm. The cooldown's a little bit longer though, I think. I think the rocket helm cooldown's 15 minutes. And this is 30 minutes, and it does share a cooldown. But Horned Viking Helm is awesome, bro. Like, you don't have to sacrifice all the stats and armor in order to get a Rocket Helm type ability. So, let me see the cooldown of Rocket Helm, actually. Rocket Helm is probably my favorite item. 20 minutes. Yeah, so it's 20 minutes versus 30 minutes. But I will say, guys, I will say that... yeah. Alright. Yeah, so Rocket Helm is probably my favorite. Probably my favorite item in the game. They didn't share a CD on beta? No way. No way. Tatsumi, no way, don't say that, dude. Is that true? Can someone confirm? I should have confirmed this. I have to ask around. That's insanity. You're telling me that Rocket Helm and Viking Helm didn't share a cooldown? Holy moly, that's insane if that's true. On private servers, it shared a cooldown. Hey, what's up, Brandung? Shout out to Brandung Media, best graphic designer in the community. That is crazy. Death ray on low levels is too fun to pass up. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the death ray, though. I feel like control is everything, man. You have the control, the damage will come. When you just go for that big burst, I mean, you could do it, but where do you slot that in as a warlock in your rotation? Because if you get that Rocket Helm off or Magic Dust or whatever, or you throw a net on someone and you're going to open up on them, you're going to open up with a Soul Fire usually into a Searing Pain, Shadow Burn. That's like, when are you going to be able to channel off a big death ray? Maybe when they're feared or something, maybe, but I feel like the control is just better. On some other classes, it could be better that don't have like some Omega damage opener. Does anybody know that? If Rocket Helm and Horn Viking Helm, they didn't share a cooldown on the beta, I have to know that. That's insane. That would be crazy. But anyway, yeah, to get back to the original point, I'm going to go Gnomish, and then once I get all these, I'm going to go Goblin. And then get the Mortar and the Rocket Helm and all this, right? But, yeah, Rocket Boots. I think the Goblin Rocket Boots are better than the Gnomish Rocket Boots, but they can break. That's the thing. They don't break that badly, though, because when they break, they still break down into Mage Weave boots and a couple parts, so you can kind of remake them. So it's not the worst thing, but I don't even want to think about that, honestly. And I think the drawback of Goblin is it like throws you way up in the air or something. I think you die if you get thrown up in the air. So I think I'm going to go Gnomish Rocket Boots and then Gnomish Battle Chicken. Shout out to Gnomish Battle Chicken. Anybody know about Gnomish Battle Chicken? This is actually viable. Why is Gnomish Battle Chicken viable? We got to ask the chat. Someone's going to know. How do you switch from Gnome to Goblin? Do you have to re-level engineering? No. There's a little quest you have to do. And you have to get this card. And you just have to do this quest that you have to turn in a bunch of stuff. So to go over to Goblin, I think you have to make a bunch of explosive sheep, and you have to make like 10-15 things, and then you can turn it in. Yeah, Gnomish Battle Chicken. Yeah, there you go. Someone got it. Who's the first one? Brady. No, you're not Shadow Man, got it. I see you right here. 5% attack speed buff. That's correct. So this chicken here is not actually a meme. It will enrage. It's not like guaranteed it's going to enrage at a certain time, but you pretty much use this chicken and then it's going to enrage and give everybody a 5% attack speed buff. I believe for 5 minutes the buff lasts. So the buff lasts way longer than the thing is even alive. So this is actually a really decent DPS increase for people that can benefit from attack speed. So that's something I want to pick up for the guild. Hold it down for the guild, make the Battle Chicken. Gnomish Rocket Boots and Netomatic, though. These are the main go-to PvP. That's one thing I love about Warlock PvP, though. All these cloth items, Spider Belt, Rocket Boots, Netomatic Projector. Well, not Netomatic, but Rocket Helm. What else am I missing? The offhands, like Skull and Frillbach Medicine Pouch. All these things just slot in so naturally. It doesn't feel wonky. Yeah, when I was talking with Serrano the other day, he was saying that, even rogues use Skull of Impending Doom in their offhand, and that's gotta feel bad, right? As a rogue, just walking around with one main hand and a freaking level 37 green offhand on you, that just feels not that elegant. Even on Hunter, it's okay on Hunter, but using some of that stuff on Hunter, it feels bad. I don't know. So I'm excited. This is much more natural of a fit, Rocket Helm, Spider Belt, all that good stuff. So I'm probably going to go Gnomish first. And then after I get everything from Gnomish, going to go Goblin. And going to get Goblin Mortar. I didn't really know about this that much, guys. The Goblin Mortar, this thing is pretty solid. I saw people on the beta. It was really the first time I saw people using this a lot. It's a great effect. But you pretty much have to reload this thing. I think it gives you It gives you like 10 charges or 5 charges or something like that every time you do it. So it's not just one. Oh no, it says it right there, 6 charges. And pretty much stuns targets in a 5-yard radius for 3 seconds and deals pretty solid damage. 383 to 518. How much is that compared to Sapper? It's probably not even on the same cooldown as Sapper and stuff too. So you could probably do this and Sapper. But let me see. Goblin Sapper charge. Goblin Sapper charge. Oh no, Goblin Sapper charge is 450 to 751. That's crazy. That's a lot of damage. Jumper cables, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get jumper cables too. That's Goblin, right? It's just not my essential things that I want. These are the things like I have to get ASAP. But yeah, jumper cables XL. They're kind of expensive though. No Machine and Goblin is the way to go. Going that way on my lock too. Yeah. Yep. Amazon trying hard to get you pull a Ninja and run Mixer. I've been hearing a lot about Mixer, man. You guys hear about that? So Ninja is over on Mixer. Let me get another beer. 1 second. So Ninja is now. They sniped him, man. They yoinked him. Gave him a bunch of millions of dollars. Man, what is this? Passion fruit. Oh boy. Drinking some passion fruit beer. What is this? Raymond Kubek, 200 rubies. Cargos, thank you for all the hype and knowledge. My father back in the day leveled 4 warriors to 60.
Thank you for all the hype and knowledge.
We'll let the text
My
speech to it.
father back in the days leveled 4 warriors to 60 straight, one after another. And all he said was they strong, they hit hard.
That's crazy, man. 4 warriors back to that's hardcore. Your dad was hardcore. He was probably a low-key legend, man. Thanks for the 200 rubies, man. Is that a ruby? Rubies? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay. So yeah. I know there's still like 30 people chilling on Twitch, man. Sorry, guys, man. I just we're over on YouTube though. If you don't mind making the switch over. Sorry, that's not working. I'm not sure why. But yeah. So Goblin Mortar. This is something I definitely could see myself using. And then you need to make this construction helm. Okay, I thought of another good talking point, guys. Another good talking point. I still didn't do this yet. So check this out. You see how Goblin Construction Helm, you need 4 Elemental Fires and 1 Citron, right? And then for Mortar, you need 1 Elemental Fire. And then if you go back to Gnomish, you're going to need all this weird stuff like Thick Spider Silk, Shadow Silk. Thick Spider Silk is from just regular spiders, I think. And then Shadow Silk is from the high-level spiders. And then Heavy Leather. All these weird... Oh, look at this. 2 Jades for Gnomish Battle Chicken. All these weird trade goods or reagents, whatever you want to call them. You will encounter these while you're leveling. So you'll just be in Stone Talon, killing stuff in the Charred Vale. And you'll get a couple of these Elemental Fires. And you're not going to really... I've done this in the past on many characters, not known exactly, in the moment, you didn't really have the foresight to predict what those are going to be used for. So you just sell them on the auction house or vendor them or do something stupid. But if you make a list that shows all those little items you have to hang on to, so when you get that first citrine in your bag, which you will, it'll just show up. You'll kill something, it'll drop a citrine. You can hold on to it and know, like, okay, I'm eventually going to need this. I'm eventually going to need this item for making Goblin Construction Helm. So they're from Duskwood Spiders. Really? One of them is from high-level spiders, though. There's some kind of silk. I think it's the Shadow Silk or something like that. One of them is from high-level ones in EPL and Arathi and stuff. Hi, everyone. What profession should I up as a Shadow Priest? I'm a casual player. It depends, man. It depends what stage of the... It depends if you're leveling, if you're, at 60 already. So I'll share with you guys my plan. I'm going to level up with mining and skinning. Now that may seem counterintuitive. Be like, Cargos, you're a cloth user, you're a warlock. Why are you going mining skinning? Well, did it freeze for a second? It's back, right? Stream is fine, right? There's a couple Fs. I see Fs and I get scared. My heart skips a beat. Are we fine? I think we're fine. I don't see any errors or anything. But, alright. So, you may be thinking, why are you going to go mining skinning? You're a cloth user. Doesn't make sense to me. Refresh fix for me. If you refresh, it's fine, man. I don't know what is going on with the streaming today. Sorry, guys. Yeah, just refresh it if it's frozen for you. Just a hiccup. Yeah, the Twitch stream is down. I know, man. I know. I'm not sure. It's always part of the cargo streaming community. We always get scuffed streams. But so pretty much, man. I already forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, professions, right? So skinning and mining. You may be thinking, why are you going skinning and mining? You're you're a clothy. Doesn't make sense. But skinning is just universally good on a fresh server. It's one of the only professions that gets accelerated by the idea that it's fresh. There's going to be lots of carcasses of animals everywhere. You're going to be killing lots of animals. If you're in the Barrens, if you're in Stone Town, you just be killing lots of stuff that you can skin. And you don't have to skin and loot everything. You don't have to OD overkill it with skinning. Like you're gonna be able to skin so much stuff that you're gonna be skinning at cap. You're gonna be maxed of your professions, and you will have not even been back to the city yet to upgrade it all the way to 300. That's another good thing about skinning. You can upgrade to 300 with skinning in the main cities. You don't have to go to like a weird land to learn the 225 to 300. You can just level it all the way up in your main city. So. And then on a fresh server, you get access to Devil Swords eventually. And Warlocks, there's some times when you're leveling as a Warlock where you actually are hurting for money. I've noticed, because you think it's going to be all smooth sailing because you get a free mount at 40. And by then, it's not that bad when you get to 40, yeah. It's not as bad. But in some of these early levels, since you have to buy the pet grimoires too, those things aren't cheap, man. So you're kind of hurting for money. And that is, so skinning actually helps there. And then mining, I want to get that because I want to use some of any extra money I have. I'm pretty much going to scoop up copper that people are putting on the auction house whenever I make my passes into the city. And I'm going to smelt it down and try my best to get the 65 first and foremost, so I can start mining tin, because the tin to iron grind is the worst out of the entire mining route. IMO. Going from tin, which you can do at 65, to iron, which you can mine at 125. Is the worst, man. Is actually the worst. There's no zones that just have tin. All the zones that have tin also have copper, and it feels like it's 1 in 5 that there's a tin. So you're just walking around feeling like an idiot trying to find tin. I would rather start that grind as early as possible, and also on a fresh server, nobody's gonna really, well, not nobody, but very few people are going to have, be able to mine tin. So you're going to be walking through the Barrens, and in all the little oases, you're going to have a tin vein because nobody is high enough. Because if you're going solo and you're in the middle of the pack, there's not enough nodes to get there. And pretty much that's what I'm going to do. And then the reason why I'm not going enchanting tailoring is that I'm duo leveling. So my partner, which is going to be a priest, is going to go enchanting tailoring. Refresh browser if it's messing up. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Thanks, man. Refresh the browser. It's weird. I'm not getting any error message on OBS. Nothing. No skip frames. Nothing like that. Weird. But my partner's going to go enchanting tailoring. So he's going to be crafting the wands for us. And then all that good stuff. And then when I get to 60, I'm gonna drop the professions. And eventually I'm going to end up with engineering mining. Just based on my personal playstyle. That is my favorite profession duo. And also I'm going to plan on making money in Maradon, and they have some veins in there. So as you're doing your princess runs, there's two thorium veins usually. It's mithril or thorium, I forgot, but there's some kind of vein in there. It's going to add to your GPM, and that's pretty dope about mining. And then also I really want to make sure I have mining so I can always have the engineering stuff I need. I always want to have, what's a good amount of grenades you should have in your bags at all times just to be comfortable? I'd say you don't want to go below 60. I'm going to try and stay above 60. Yep, so that's the plan with that. Look up Scarm Tank on YouTube. Yeah, Scarm's my man, dude. I really enjoy Scarm. He was on our GMA the other day. We're going to do a GMA this week, too, for everyone that's been asking about that. So, is grinding dungeons the best way to level in Classic? I read something about it. Okay, here's the thing about grinding dungeons. It oftentimes when you theory craft something, it sounds better than it actually plays out. So it was kind of the same thing when we were testing it on the beta. Try as we may to go into it with the most realistic conditions possible. Like We still all met up at exactly level 14. We went into the dungeon at the exact same time, and you know, and did it. Like, so we kind of did it in a vacuum. And I'm just trying to think about realistically, when you realistically have 4 other people from around the planet who you're not probably all on the same page with, and you're telling them all to get to a certain level by a certain time. First of all, that right there might be a nightmare. To say, hey man, try and get level 14 by, an hour and a half or 2 hours or something like that. Or no, not an hour and a half. What am I saying? Like maybe 2.5 hours or something, or 3 hours. That already may prove logistical challenges, right? It may prove you really need some high speed dudes in order to make this work. And I swear, man, 9 times out of 10, someone is just gonna quit, or they're just gonna fall out, or they're gonna get bored, or they're gonna leave. You're dealing with 4 other human beings. It's not gonna go that smooth. Something's gonna happen. So I think if you really somehow, some way, had the most high speed guys that were willing to kind of min-max your composition, and not just, because I'm seeing people doing dungeon cleave groups, but they're all over the place. They have like a mage, they have a hunter, they have a warrior, and they're not really committing to either end of it. They're not going for a melee cleave, they're not going for a spell cleave. They're just basically have a regular group. And I would actually prefer a regular group over doing a spell cleave or a melee cleave if it meant the players were trustworthy and they were going to be there for the long run. So here's my thing. Here's my thing on that. I'm going to level normally and see what happens. I'm not going to plan for dungeon grinding. I'm going to level normally and just evaluate and see if I get to 30 on that first day, and I'm looking around and I'm going like, wow, there's a surprising amount of people at 30 right now in my guild. I didn't really expect this many people to be this high level. Let's do SM together and let's ride it out to 42, because ain't nobody got time to wait is what I'm saying. So I don't know. I'm hesitant to recommend telling people to go in and just, if they're trying to really pump, to go in and plan to do a dungeon grinding group, because I really feel someone's gonna have a connection issue. Someone's wife is gonna get mad at them. Something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna oversleep, and then you're just in this weird spot where everybody's levels are all janky and all over the place. People start doing their own thing. They want to be a individual, right? That happens, man. When you're group leveling, people want to be an individual. Oh, Joker's in here. Is this the real Joker? 2 hour 30 minutes first level 14. Damn you fast cars. I gotta look back at the splits, man. Yo, Joker's in here. Joker is legend, man. Dude, Joker, man. What was your time again? Was it 2 days, 20 hours or something? He did it in under 3 days. It was on a private server though. But that is still probably the world record, man. Right? I haven't seen anything faster than that. That's insane, man. And I was looking through your VOD thinking that I was going to see some super cheese. That Elementals on STV was kind of cheese, a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. You didn't really even stay there that long, though, huh? It was like, you did sit there for a couple hours or something. But you pretty much just played it normally. I don't really understand how you did that so fast or whatever, and you were saying it. And someone's a speed leveler when their record run, they're saying like scuffed run, like this run sucks. When I watch all like the Zelda Ocarina of Time, they just beat the 17-minute mark for speedrunning Zelda of Ocarina of Time. That game took my entire childhood to beat, and someone beating it in 17 minutes. The dude is doing it, and he's going through the motions, and he's like, oh, this run is trash, this run is awful, and then he breaks the world record. It's funny. STV Elemental's worse XP than Murloc's anyway. Yeah, so you had to do it. Damn, we got hosted on Twitch, but Twitch is broken. You hate to see that. Thank you so much, Boner Vita, for the host, my man. I really, really appreciate that, Boner Vita. I'm gonna put the YouTube link in the chat. For some reason, Twitch is acting up today. Can't view stream. I can't. My life is acting up. It's there. There it is. For those in Twitch looking to come hang out, we're just talking classic. I don't think they can even hear me over on Twitch. Thank you very much, though, Boner Vita. I appreciate that, man. I will get you back with that. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna host Boner Vita ASAP. Thank you very much for the 25, guys. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. We're the Black Screen Network Error channel. That run is embarrassing. Honestly, have gotten so much better since then. See, that's how you know he's a gamer, dude. He's a power gamer when he's calling his 2-day, 17-hour speed run to 60 trash. That is so funny, dude. That cracks me up, man. So Jokered is in here. We have a legend in our presence, ladies and gentlemen. Jokered. Do you have a prediction? Who's taking the world first real classic race to 60? Are we thinking female Night Elf Hunter? Are we thinking female Troll Hunter? Are we thinking no Mage? Are we thinking 5-man dungeon cleave, spell cleave, XP per hour manipulation shenanigans? I don't know. The safe pick would just be like female Night Elf Hunter. But hey, Carlos, which class are you going to main in Classic, and what's your opinion on Ellie Chamois? So I'm going Warlock. And this is a good time. Night Elf Priest, for sure, right? Star Shards? Star Shards, dude. Star Shards Gaming. Hell yeah. World first. Night Elf Priest. Oh yeah, that's it. So I learned something interesting, guys. And Joker's a mage, too. Maybe he can understand and you guys can chime in. This is super important, guys, because we may be able to test this on the last stress test. We can talk about the last stress test too in a little bit. But okay, let me scroll up because I have slides for this too. I got slides for everything on here. This is something I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I just learned about this, and it's kind of embarrassing to learn about this after this long, if this is true. But in my defense, I played Hunter mainly, right? So it's whatever. And what I'm talking about is okay, that's spell hit. It is this. How does spell damage work in Classic? All right. So how does spell damage work in Classic, right? So people know about spell damage, right? You can get, these items that say increases your abilities and effects by up to X amount, right? And it just like adds up, and the sum total is your spell power, and then that gets slapped on top of your spell of your overall of your spell damage, right? But so there's a 3.5. It's balanced around 3.5 seconds. We're not at the part where I'm embarrassed yet. All right, we're still in the early stages of this explanation. But so spell coefficients. Anybody know in the chat what a spell coefficient is? So a spell coefficient is just your spell's relationship to this 3.5 seconds, pretty much. So if a spell is 3.5 seconds or greater, it will get full value from your plus damage. Right? Full damage, 3.5. This is base cast time. So stuff like Pyroblast, Soulfire, anything that has a 3.5 second base cast time, something that's super long, will get 100% value from it. And then the shorter your base cast time is, so 3 seconds, 2.5 to 1.5, you will get a reduced value from the sum total of your plus damage, right? So if it's a 3-second cast, which is Shadow Bolt, you get 0.857. 2.5-second cast, you get 0.714. 2-second cast, you get 0.571, and then 1.5-second cast, you get 0.428. And an instant cast is considered a 1.5, and a channeled is considered a 3.5. So here's the thing that is interesting, though. Here's the thing that's interesting right now. All right. So pretty much, dots are balanced around how long? So, okay, so you know how these are balanced around 3.5 seconds? Dots are balanced around 15 seconds. So if a dot goes for 15 seconds, you get 100% spell damage value from it, right? If it's shorter than 15 seconds, you're going to get some penalty. Longer than 15 seconds, you're still going to get it, right? But 15 seconds is like the sweet spot. That's why Corruption's so good. But anyway, that's not the juicy part. So here, listen up, guys. Sip a beer before I explain this. Okay, I never knew this, but I was looking into how spell damage worked. So you guys know that there's different gear. Some gear will provide just a general increase to your spell damage, right? What does it look like when a gear is like that? We'll just confirm. We'll just take it slow because I don't want to confuse people. It'll say, all right, here's a good example. We're comparing Trindle Haven Staff to Soul Harvester. So if you just get a generic increase to your magical spells and effects, or damage and healing done by magical spells and effects. That's what it looks like over here. And then you can get specific types of damage increases. So increases damage done by shadow spells and effects by up to 24. So specifically shadow. Okay. Now to scroll back up to this. All right. So you get this sum total of plus spell damage. Right? So, and then if you're casting a Shadow Bolt, for example, 3.0 second base cast time, you're only going to get 0.857% of your total spell damage. But what I learned and what might be true, and people are saying that it worked this way in vanilla, and it's crazy to me, is that if you have plus damage of a certain type, it bypasses the spell power coefficient. You just get full value from it. How did I not know that? Is that true? People are saying that that's true. That's how it worked in vanilla. So if you get, so the TLDR is plus 10 shadow damage is more valuable than plus 10 spell damage. How weird is that? How weird is that? Yep. How weird is that? Look at the no ways. Look at the no ways. So pretty much, it makes it more valuable than to cast shorter spells. So like Scorch, Searing Pain. Because if you stack a bunch of plus shadow damage or plus fire, it doesn't have to obey by the spell power coefficient. You just get 100% value from it. How weird is that? How weird is that? That's apparently how it worked in vanilla. You can go find forum posts on it. People are saying that it worked like that. If it's a bug, I don't know if it's a bug, but this is very strange to me. It's very strange to me. So you pretty much could cast Scorch instead of Fireball. You know, if you stacked a bunch of plus 10 plus fire gear, you could spam Searing Pain as well for Warlocks. It's bizarre. But my question is, this is going to be on a 7.3.5 client. The game, right? It's built on that. Are they going to recreate that weirdness? You know, are they going to kind of take the game back? Because I think in TBC, even in TBC, starting in TBC, that was no longer the case. It was just 1-to-1, and they both obeyed by this spell power coefficient. But I say again, stacking a specific type of plus damage is more valuable pound for pound than stacking general spell damage. How weird is that? How weird is that? So weird. So weird. The client version has zero bearing on something like that. Yeah, I have no idea what to think. So here's, moving forward, what we can do, for those of you playing on the stress test, use your collective hive mind knowledge to try and figure out if there's anything below level 15. No, it's only going to be 50. It's not even 20, bro. The next stress test is going to be 15 still. Damn, dude, ripperoni. If there's any plus damage.
Can't wait. So hype.
Damn, Sarmonican with the $50 drop in the chat. 3 weeks to go. Can't wait. So hype. Thank you so much for the 50, man. Keeping a roof over your boy's head. Thank you so much, Sarmonican. I know, I'm excited. 3 weeks. Sarmonican is a guildie. Shout out to any members of the Invictus Guild in here. This is a guild we've been starting together. We have a full clear molten core set up for tomorrow. Launch conditions. High speed. We've been grinding, working on our launch plans, getting the teams together. We got 3 raids going. If you guys are still looking for a home in Classic, Invictus, man, it's going to be so much fun, guys. And like I said before, I promised you guys before, I'll promise you guys again. I never want it to feel like our guild and our server is inaccessible. I always want to keep it 100 with you guys, and not to make it feel like we're part of some cool kids club. You can, I may not respond to all the messages just because I suck when it comes to communication in general. I get reminded of that every day by my better half. But if you roll with us, man, I'm telling you, we're gonna keep it 100. We're hopefully not gonna feel like cool kids club, and everybody's welcome there, right? So if you're still looking for a home, man, come hang out, guys. David Hernandez with the $5. Yo, Cargos. Every time I tune in, my hype level goes over 9,000. 3 weeks. Thanks for the $5, David. I know, man. 3 weeks on the dot. 3 weeks on the dot. So we have.
Yo, Cargos. Every time I tune in, my hype level goes over 9,000. 3 weeks.
Yo, so 3 weeks from now, at this very moment, am I going to be playing Classic WoW? At this very moment in time? Soon, right? I think it goes live 3 p.m. PST on the 26th. And it's 2. All right, so in a half an hour, we'll be officially 3 weeks away from playing it. So 30 minutes from now, 3 weeks from now, we'll be playing Classic WoW. Crazy, dude. When is the Shaman level guide coming out? Yeah, I've been working on them all, Matt. That's why I've been wanting to stream more. Like, even this stream, I was only going to do it for like maybe 2-3 hours because I want to get back to the guides. This is what you're looking at is an example of one, by the way. I'll show you guys a little sneak peek here. since you guys have been asking about it. This is the ultimate warlock leveling guide. We have pretty much pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses, similar format to what you guys saw in the past. Break down all the abilities, ability progression, right? So you can show, you know, you can see when you get different ranks of your skills, not only your skills but your pet skills, stats, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm working on them, guys. I'm working on them. They're getting there. They take a lot of hours though, man. Zero Cool Kids Club, Invictus Love, yeah. Yeah. It's not gonna be the Cool Kids Club. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you join. I felt that way on the beta, to be perfectly honest. I enjoyed my time on the beta, but you know, there's some pretty insular communities there, man. And I don't know, man. I just want to lead by example. I want when people see our server and they see our guild, they're just gonna be taken aback by how much fun we're having. That's hopefully gonna be how it looks to people. Like they're not even gonna be able to hate on us because they're like, dude, they're just having so much fun. How are they having that much fun, man? That's crazy. Where can we see all the those nice slides? Well, it's not out yet, Dodo. So I'm gonna publish them and record over them, and they're gonna have, you know, some production value behind them. But you're getting a little bit of a taste here. So this is something I'm really excited to find out about. The idea that plus damage of a specific elemental type is going to be more valuable than general spell damage. Very counterintuitive, very strange, almost seems borderline bugged. But we'll see what happens. Also, did you guys know that there's a wand with holy damage? I didn't even know that. There's one wand in the game with holy damage. Link to that Warlock guide. Yeah, it's not out yet, man. It's coming, though. It'll be coming out at some point. Best classes for beginners who will not be able to grind that hard. Priest, man. Your high demand, pretty smooth leveling experience. I don't know. I think Priest just snaps to my mind. Invictus is welcoming. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to join Invictus or put an application in, you can join my Discord, and then there's links to it in the guild chat over there. So I'm not doing so much PvP at all. So if I take Taylor and what else, please cargos. Oh man, even if you're not doing PvP, engineering is still kind of the way. Now, I know, not to seem. I mean, do what you want, right? At the same time, like I'm not trying to be too hard ass on that, whatever. But think about it this way: engineering is the only profession that actually impacts gameplay on a PvE and PvP perspective. So you might be thinking to yourself, how could engineering affect PvP? I mean, how could engineering affect PvE? Well, it can affect it in all kinds of ways. Like even if you wanted to, you could use like rocket boots and use them, or you could that might be a liability though. But you can throw sapper charges, you can throw nades. You know, even if you're doing speed clears, we're practicing doing speed clears of UBRS the other day, and everybody were just throwing in grenades. It was kind of helping a lot, and you know, jumper cables. What else? There's other stuff too. You can use all those gadgets. Like if you wanted to, you could rocket helm something. Like you know, that stuff still works. So Goblin Sapper Charge Mortar, yeah, it's big damage, you know. So if you're a tank too, like the pro tanks to have more threat, they're using engineering items. Can't it be said all professions affect gameplay because gold farming? Yeah, indirectly. I see what you mean though, Andy, but I'm just talking about like really directly. Like to me that's indirectly, you know, you make a bunch of gold because you can make gold in another way too as well. But yeah. Engineering really isn't that necessary for PvE until NEF IMO. It's just so good though. I almost can't even imagine playing without engineering. It would just be too bizarre of an existence because I'm playing on a PvP server as a streamer, especially. Like PvP is just gonna be part of life, man. And you have to have grenades. You have to have, you know, just the basics, man. You need to like a rocket helm, grenades. Stuff like that. One thing that is kind of discouraging to me though, I said it, I was on Alex's stream yesterday, but here I was saying it over there, but check this out. So this potion is not going to be in the game, boys.
Do you think your server will be
until
a bit
phase 3
unbalanced because a lot of people might
sub bro, do you
horror to play with you guys?
Yo, thanks for the $5, King. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's that's it. Hold on, my dogs are barking at some cats. 1 second. My bad. Thanks for the $5 again, man. I am concerned about faction imbalance for sure, and you can't even see this because it's too off to the side. It's basically living action potion, or living action potion is what I'm talking about. You can kind of half see it. So living action potion is one of the more valuable potions for a warlock because you can't get rid of stun. Your trinket doesn't get rid of stun, and this doesn't come out until ZG. So what is that, phase 4? That is kind of disturbing to me. Where did you hear about no lap until phase 3? Well, look at it. So if I click living action and you look at the recipe, look at where you get the recipe. It's the Zandalar Tribe Exalted recipe. I forgot it was like that. So I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of, you just trust me, man. Living action potion requires Zandalar Tribe Exalted, so you're not gonna be able to use this. So living action potion is the one, for just a refresher for those of you guys watching right now, is the one that makes you can use it while you're stunned. So rogue opens up on you, your trinket doesn't get rid of stun as a warlock, you have no way to get rid of stun unless you passively or racial resist it, and you lap, and then you're able to do your whole CC chain back on him in those 5 seconds. And that's not going to be there. So, oh, the wand I'm talking about? I'll show you the wand I'm talking about. Yeah, there is a holy damage wand. How crazy is that? A holy damage wand. I'm going to show you right now. Holy damage wand is right here. It's called Wand of Eternal Light. I don't think I even ever saw this thing before. I don't know if you guys have any experience with this, but it's a 24% drop within a secret safe in Blackrock Depths. Wand of Eternal Life, holy damage. Holy damage can't, there's no resistances against holy damage too, right? That's the interesting thing about holy damage. Cargos, is there space? What did you say? Sorry. Is there space in Invictus? Yeah, there's space in Invictus. If you're still looking for a home to raid, we have a couple raids. We have 3 raids. We have our logo is kind of like as like double snakes. So the raids are branded around snakes. We have Copperhead, Black Mamba, and Sidewinder. So I think there's still spots in Sidewinder and Black Mamba. Copperhead I think is full though. So if you guys are still looking for a home, definitely still some spots there. Should I run to TB as a troll on the start? I wouldn't. No, I would stay in the Valley of Trials personally. It's just too much of a liability. Like, you know, yeah, it's just too much risk, man. I wouldn't do it. Hey, Cargos, I'm really split on whether to play a priest or hunter. I want to play hunter more, but I know how easy it will be to find groups and guilds as a priest. Please help. Fresh, I will say what I've said many times. Look within your hearts, guys. Are you more of a PvPer, or are you really actually into PvE? The reason I say that is a lot of people think they're kind of into PvE, and they think they like love raiding, but ultimately the end goal and reason why they're getting the gear is so they can go stomp kids out in the open world or do BGs or whatever. So if you PvE to PvP, I put myself in that bucket. Think about the end goal and think about what class you want to play. Like, if you're not really that into raiding that much, like I'm kind of in that boat too. I enjoy raiding, but it can feel like a chore after a little while. That I'm not really too concerned about getting the top parse on the meter that much. Still fun to do. I'm rather thinking about running pre-mades and killing people out in the open world. So that's whenever I see people hating on hunters and thinking like, man, hunters are going to fall off and all this, I would just say hunters are one of the most fun classes to play in PvP. Vanilla hunter is awesome. You look awesome as a hunter. So hunters actually wear their tier gear. Some class you think you're going to be playing some badass resto shaman and you're going to be looking like straight out of Thrall's war cabinet, and then you find yourself wearing a teal dress and just a bunch of cloth on you, and you look really weird. Same thing with paladins and stuff. Hunters, you're always going to look good. You wear tier 1, then you wear tier 2, then you wear 2.5, then you wear 3. So PvP on Priest is so fun. Yeah, PvP on Priest is so fun, but at the same time, you can feel kind of helpless if you get ganged up on. Is there an Alliance version of Invictus? Sort of. There is an Alliance guild that I will not name them. They are friends, believe it or not, and they've decided to roll on our server to gank us mercilessly. And I welcome it, man. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to make for good content. There's a whole guild already that's like waiting for us to pick a server because they want to roll there and just mess with us pretty much. And that's good, you know. It's good. That's good. Which faction when you play cards? I'm playing Horde, Orc, Warlock. With the melee leeway, the shared diminishing returns between Ice Trap and Scattershot. So that's enough. I will respond back to that too, Chaz. So people are saying there's a whole in the Hunter Discord. There's a whole channel called Doom Posting. People are feeling really bad about the state of Hunters, feeling like Hunters are ate up and that they're going to be in a really bad spot in Classic. I think PvE they're probably going to be stronger because of the you don't get subjected to parry. There's no glancing blows with Hunter shots, and pretty much the melee physical damage dealers are going to be subject to that 6% minus crit, right? So I think you're going to be stronger in PvE first of all, and then when it comes to PvP, you just have to be a little bit more creative. I mean, there are so many ways to control someone in Vanilla WoW. You guys know this, right? There's Rocket Helm. There's Magic Dust, which is going to be instant cast. There's going to be grenades. There's going to be Netomatic Projector. There's going to be what else? Like, oh, there's going to be that Murloc net thing. There's all kinds of way to control people. There's always another consumable that you could have had. There's all types of stuff that you can do to control people. So I wouldn't worry that much about not being able to scatter into freezing. You could just intimidation into freezing. It's a little bit less reliable. You could magic dust into freezing. You could do, which is a little bit weird, but you have other options, man. Like there are ways to control people. And my personal play style when I play Hunter is I really like going that intimidation scatter build. So I don't get my deep talent. I don't get true shot. I don't get bestial wrath, and you pretty much have more control with that. So if you really wanted to get a full DR trap into, really get a full DR trap, you could intimidation with your pet and then feign into a trap there. So, new member Dead of Night, thank you so much for joining, man. Good to see you in here again. Thank you for all your continued support, my man. I can't wait to play with you, bro. You're in Invictus, right? Can't wait, bro. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be an era, dude. What percentage of the enemy guild are gonna go Gnome Rogues? Yeah, you guys know I have a thing for Gnome Rogues. Probably a couple. Probably gonna have a couple Gnome Rogues stalking me, but I'm a little concerned about that too. If I had all the gear I needed right off the bat, I'd be fine. I've come up with the Phase 1 PvP set that pretty much using the Necropile set that I have 4,400 health unbuffed as a Warlock, which is more than tanks and stuff too. That's a lot of health for Warlock. And if I get all that gear up, I'm liking my chances, but I'm concerned because the pre-bis for Warlock, you are just such a freaking potato. You have like 2,600 or 2,400 health. Depending on your SM or DS rune, you have so little health. And if a rogue opens up on you with full cooldowns, you may not even get a chance to play out the fight because you don't even have a trinket to get rid of that stun. You don't have a living action potion to get rid of that stun. I don't know. I'm a little concerned, but I think it's going to be fine. As long as, yeah. I think it's going to be fine. I'm having a problem choosing between Hunter and Lock. I feel like people are super negative about Hunters, and it will be hard to get groups to play because of it. George, that's another thing, though, man. Imagine Hunters aren't that represented. That's cool. There's advantages in that. You need a couple Hunters in a raid. And Hunters, just think about Rockdalar, man. Rockdalar is enough of a reason to play Hunter. Rockdalar is just so cool. You get Rockdalar. Need I say more? And pretty much being the underdog is kind of good. Like, if you're expected to be the top dog, for example, one of the reasons why I'm going Soul Link Warlock, and what I want to do is because I think that they're the pound-for-pound heavyweight champions, the Mike Tysons of the 1v1 game. And with that comes the responsibility of upholding that title. People are not going to want to see me lose in duels if I'm going Soul Link, right? So, yeah, you're going to be strong, but at the same time, you have to perform and stuff too. Like if you're this Hunter in a raid or something and you're kind of the underdog and you're doing really well on the meters, it's gonna look even better for you. And don't compete with the other classes, compete with other people within your class too. So that's another thing I would say. Not to say that even Hunters are even bad, man. You can be very competitive on Hunters. You have to run around with Soul Link 21, 31, 0. No, I'm going to go 31. I'm going to go Soul Link Shadowburn. That's my favorite spec. I practice a ton on it. I've been doing duels on it. On the PTR, I feel super high speed on Soul Link Warlock. I think I could talk at length about it now. I've been watching tons of videos, asking lots of questions with people who have ranked on Warlocks in the past now. I'm feeling very, very good about my chances as Soul Link Shadowburn Warlock. I'm going to see if I can get away rating as it, to be honest. I don't think what I've done is I set up on the PTR one Warlock without Ruin, right, and just going the spec that I want, and one with the Ruin build, the SM Ruin build I would be going, and I'm going to compare the damage with the Phase 1 gear on. I'm going to see how much of a DPS decrease it's going to be not having Ruin. If I don't have to have Ruin Phase 1 because we don't have a lot of crit, oh buddy, I'm going to have such a good time. No need to respec, and just going to be able to, and still going to be able to be very competitive and stuff. Carlos, forgive me for I have a soul search. After months of searching and following guides and notes, instead of ally, I'm rolling Horde for Classic. Oh, wow. You running Horde? Oh, nice, Bunny. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. Congratulations on being woke. I'm getting woke. Just stack Shadow Wrath gear. Man. You're squishy, though. Very squishy. Very squishy. I want to play PvP, so I will experience Priest. Is there a server list for NA yet? If so, what server are y'all rolling on? Not sure yet, Dominic. Some people were saying to keep it secret, keep it top secret. I don't know. I mean, the secret's going to get out almost instantly. I feel like we're just going to pick the server, just get our name on it. You know, I'll just get cargoes on it. Even if I don't get cargoes, I won't even be that mad, bro. I'll just get cargoes, by the way, cargoes something. You know, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But we're going to get our names, then we'll quickly blast it out in the Discord. Then everybody who wants to play with us is going to be able to do their thing. Your Twitch stream is still up. Also, you play Shadow Mastery, Demonic Sacrifice early in raids. I know, man. I know, bro. That's the thing, though. Two dads. I'm really trying to see how much of a DPS decrease it is to lose Ruin. You know, it's SM Ruin or DS Ruin. You always hear that thrown around. You got to go SM Ruin or DS Ruin. Between the two, I've dug deep. I've done some deep soul searching. I've laid them both out, the pros and cons. There really are compelling pros and cons to play either or. But in Phase 1... if you're able to use Corruption, if you're able to get some value out of your pet's Firebolt does 15 point something DPS. SM Ruin appears like it's actually simming higher than DS Ruin. Even in Phase 1. People used to say, you know, DS Ruin was going to be better in Phase 1, but also just being able to use your pet, I feel like it's better in PvP overall. If you had Fell Domination Master Summoner, you'd probably be stronger on a pound-for-pound basis, but you only have that once every 15 minutes. But here's the thing, you don't have a lot of crit early, and I don't know, and you also are very squishy. So I'm thinking that maybe if you drop Ruin, it's not going to be as bad as people think. I don't know, though. Haven't confirmed that yet. I'm just exploring the idea. Maybe you could be selfish and maybe go some kind of souling spec and not lose out too much. Can flag block for PvP for you? Yeah, that's what most people go as far as PvP on Warlocks. You're expected to play as can flag for sure. Let's see. Some people skip Wreck, but I would recommend you learn it and use it to control your fears. Absolutely, man. Yeah, Wreck. Yeah, that was. I was very shocked that I didn't know that it did that with fear for so long. Navac has been a good Warlock mentor for me and has been telling me all the strats. Once you have Recklessness, though, you feel like a puppet master. You feel like you have so much control between the succubus and your fear. Like you're controlling two things at the same time, and you're damaging things because you have high impact dots, and dots are the best DPME out of every type of damage source in the game. It's a dot. You know, you throw it on once and then it just ticks and gives you massive value. Let me see. What spells do I put money in at the beginning and for Warlock? Oh, we can talk about it for a second. Sure. I got the ability progression. You buy a lot of stuff. Warlocks have a ton of binds. Out of all the classes, they're up there with like shamans and some of they have a ton of binds. So you're gonna get pretty much all the ranks of your dots. You can skip Curse of Weakness. This is the one. Curse of Weakness rank 1 is pretty good though. It's a good tagging tool, so you can tag something but not do damage to it. But you might want to pick it up later. I don't really use it that much. I probably should though. It's just a good tagging tool again, and you know it's worth like 1 silver, whatever it is. You pretty much buy a lot of it, man. You pretty much buy almost all. Look how many abilities you have. And let me scroll down to my binds. This is something we can talk about for a minute here too. So here are my binds on a default setup. Let me see if this is coming through all right on the stream. You love Curse of Exhaustion? Yeah, I love Curse of Exhaustion as well. Curse of Exhaustion is awesome. You're only slow as a Warlock. Can you guys see this? You can't really see the bottom, huh? Let me move it up a little bit. Might be a little scuffed to do it this way, but hopefully you can still see it a little better if I move it up. Maybe I can zoom in too. So here's my UI, guys, on default. And this isn't something that I just threw together. I've gone through. It's been an evolution. I'm sure some of you guys can Yeah, the edges are clipped. It's okay. I'm just trying to get it within focus. So I'm sure you guys are, some of you guys are in the same boat. I'm sure you guys are in the same boat of like your binds are an evolution. It's like a living, breathing part of the game, like just how you do your binds. Everybody has their own system, right? And one thing that I think people naturally do is they compartmentalize different types of spells and abilities and items and stuff into different areas of your UI. So I'm usually a PFUI guy. I like having all the stuff here in the middle, but I think it's important to also have, you know, the ability to function with default UI as well. So with a default UI setup, this is usually how I roll. One thing that I feel pretty happy with is I compartmentalize my trinkets and consumables into a little row down here. So down here, I have my F1 key, F1 through F4, and then Control F1 through F4. I compartmentalize these into my major consumables and kind of trinkety gadgets that you're using, like very like high usage, high impact stuff, meat and potatoes, bread and butter, heart and soul of, you know, gameplay out in the open world. So on F1 I have grenade, F2 I have bandage, F3 and F4 I have 2 potions. I like to have 2 potions in these slots at any time. It could be, you know, a living action potion, but you can't go wrong with major health potion, man. Major healing potion, whatever. And then over here you got rocket helm, netomatic, furlbog medicine pouch, and skull. So that's cool. And then over here on the PTR, you don't really see the pet binds on them, but these are all bound. So I control my pet completely with my mouse. That's something I learned from being a hunter, that if you have buttons on your mouse and you have scroll wheels and you have all that, you can pretty much just, if you're a pet class, think to yourself, all right, my left or right hand on the mouse, that is controlling my pet. So I deploy my pet with scroll up on the mouse wheel. I recall my pet with scroll back on the mouse wheel. And then the buttons on my mouse are able to be the abilities that you use. So I have 4 buttons on my mouse. There's 4 abilities. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. There's a lot of binds, as you can see, though, on a Warlock. Warlock has a ton of binds, dude. They have a ton of binds, especially as SM Ruin. You have a ton of binds. And if I had to choose between DS Ruin or SM Ruin, I think I'm going to go SM Ruin at this point. So many abilities that you have as a Warlock. All my kind of dots are down here. Shadow Burn, all this stuff you can see, right? I used to go 1 through 5 on the keyboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that would be it because I didn't want to extend out to 6, 7, 8, 9. It felt too far. It didn't feel that comfortable. I've recently made the decision to go out towards 6 now to get a few more binds out of it. I also have foot pedals. One foot pedal for me is push to talk. The other foot pedal is mount. And then pretty much have your drains all compartmentalized right here. As a Warlock too, you don't want to have just 1 rank of life tap because, again, in your previous gear, you're such a potato. You have 24 or 2600 health. That rank 6 life tap takes away like 30% of your health or something ridiculous. So having like a rank 5 or a rank 4, or even a rank 3 even, you know, so you can just life tap a little bit more confidently is good. Having all your control abilities compartmentalized in one place. So as you can see, I got Fear, Recklessness, Tongues, got Howl of Terror, Death Coil, you know, Banish. Maybe I should move Banish over here just to have this be a little chunk of control. Robe of the Void right there. And then all utility curses over here that have no cooldown. So that's Curse of Shadows, Curse of Elements, Curse of Doom, Curse of Weakness. These are all just the utility curses. I keep them off to the side. There's no cooldown on them. They're just on demand. Never have to worry about those. And then all buffs and pets up here. That's pretty much it. Agree, Cargo should main Hunter. Hunter's going to be my first alt after we go through the motions. There's a lot of binds in Warlock, though, man. They have a ton of abilities. And pretty much every class is going to have a ton of binds, though. If you really are doing what you got to do and you're using consumables and engineering items and all this, you're going to have a full row of binds just for that stuff. You know, and then I got food and water down here on X and Z. Keep them right next to each other. I'm pretty happy with this. At this point, at this point, I think this is what I'm gonna roll out with in Classic. I think this is gonna be the bind system that I use. I feel pretty good with it. I've been practicing with it. But now is still the time. Think about everything we've talked about today. You guys have so much time still. Like, enjoy this time before Classic comes, because when Classic comes, shouldn't be the time to learn stuff. Should be the time to execute. Have a plan already and just be executing on that plan and dealing with any, you know, roadblocks you might face along the way. But you should have everything all set up like this. And then Stress Test is coming out Big recommendation. Big recommendation. Stress test is coming on the 8th, right? Which is it really in 3 days? Wow. Set up your binds and your add-ons and everything as much as possible. Set it up as much as possible, and then try and take that WTF folder and then lock it up, so that when the game comes and we actually are there at launch, you can at least have a shot of tossing that into the WTF folder, as long as you name it the same thing and you have it all named out already. And there's a pretty good chance, not guaranteed, but you can log into the game and everything is going to be set up for you, including the positioning of your target frames, your health and stuff, as well as your target frames could be all set up. Binds could be all set up, because you don't want to be one of those guys when you log into the starting zone that you're just sitting there on a giant pile of people working on your bars while people are already off killing Sarkoth. They're already off questing because they're moving already. You want to set that stuff up in advance, because people are going to spend the first 5 minutes there just setting up their bars. So, do you think the Mage Bis is similar to Warlock? Maybe in some ways. There's some crossover, but I don't think that much, because so you have these. That's one thing I really enjoy about Warlock, though, I have to say. So, you know the Fellcloth set, right? Let me pull it up. The Fellcloth set, it's not just the hood and shoulders, even though that's what you see on the BIS lists. This is what I'm saying. You got to really think for yourself and just go look at all the items. It's not just the head and shoulders. There's also the knees and toes. Not the toes. The toes are fire damage. But you got the legs. There's a robe, the chest, and it has stamina on it, which is nice. That's a big, nice thing right there, dude. Shadows, you get that shadow spell bonus, but it got some stam. I'm just hungry for stam because you're so weak. And I would prefer stam over intellect as a warlock end game. I know intellect is going to give you crit, but I don't know, man. You can convert stam into mana at a favorable exchange rate, at a 1.2 exchange rate, because of improved life tap. Also, it keeps you alive. And when I'm popping a potion, instead of popping a major mana potion, I'm often popping a major healing potion and then just tapping into that mana if you're not concerned with tempoing out stuff right away. So you have the robe, you have the... what is the other one? The pants. So you have 4 things that you could craft as a tailor. 5 things, potentially, because you have Robe of the Void. You have a lot of ability to kind of like craft stuff for your pre-bis. And I don't think mages have that same ability. Maybe they do, I could be wrong. But... you have that, and then also, dude, Eye of Orgrimmar, amazing, by the way. I'm definitely getting this. Inventor's Focal Sword. This is another example. This is something I'm excited to do. So, people say Witchblade. I see Witchblade on the Prebis lists, and it looked good. It looks good. I want to get Witchblade, right? But then it's a 14% chance drop off Dark Master Gandling. Dude, Scholomance is kind of hard, man. Like, you can scuff it in Scholomance, and yeah, you can practice now, but like, for example, like, we've been practicing on Scholomance, so it's getting easier and easier now, right? And it's kind of scuffed on the PTR, but if you are rolling into Scholomance in Classic, that's going to be kind of a harder dungeon to do. And you're not just going to, like, willy-nilly be able to just kill Dark Master Gandling and just farm him over and over and over again. Like, he's kind of a beast to get to. And 14% drop off of him, I would rather just get Inventor's Focal Sword, because when you get 60 on a Warlock, you can just go right into Maraudon. 33% chance drop off Tinkerer. It's something you can do solo. It's something you're already doing because you're already in there farming gold. So instead of just trying to go straight Witchblade, I'm already gonna have Spirit of Aquamentus because I got it while leveling, and then I'm just gonna hop right into Maraudon and pick up an Inventor's Focal Sword. You know, you can get Hypnotic Blade. Oh, from SM, is that good? Hypnotic Blade, maybe, man. I mean, you're gonna be farming SM a lot, so maybe you might have it. Yeah, I don't know how it compares. Yokargo has always been an Orc Hunter or War, but going Nelf this time around to join mates on ally side. Can you ease my shame and guilt horde for life, man? Yeah, man. I mean, you can do both, dude. You can have an alliance character and a horde character. I'll probably have an alliance character as well. Maybe on EU or something. My friends keeps raving about this game I've never played. That being said, what's the difference between Classic and what is out right now? Community and the pacing of content are the main things. or hey, you're going to find a super strong, passionate community here. And the pacing of the game, the rate at which you like experience spikes in your power level, the journey, the pacing of content is calibrated in a much superior way to the current game. You get really vested and immersed in your character. You create really strong friendships. And honestly, bro, don't knock it till you try it. I think if you give this a real shot, go into it with an open mind and open heart, and you know, I think you could really like it, man. I think you could really like it. Hypnotic Blade is like 2 less spell power. Yeah, and you're going to be farming potentially a lot of SM on the way up, right? And so, interesting. You're thinking of Alana's Embrace Epic Robe that drops in Skolo at 2% drop. 2% drop? Epic Robe in Skolo? I didn't even know about that. For the robe, I'm going to go... where's robe at? Robe... Chest, yeah. I really want Robe of the Void. It's so good. 14 stam, has an amazing on-use effect that you can use while farming in PvP. So good. Only a 10-minute cooldown on the ability. I really want it, but it's a 7% drop off of Dark Master Ganling and Skolo. Gonna run a ton of Skolo. But you have Fellcloth Robe as well. And I think I'd prefer Fellcloth Robe over Robe of Winter Night. Is this something good to farm, though? I'm curious, for those of you guys who have done this before. So this Robe of Winter Night... It drops off specifically the Cobalt Mage Weavers and Winter Spring at 2%. They're kind of those dragon-looking, wormkin dragon-looking things. Do people farm that? Is that a good farm? I never heard about that before. So, the Fellcloth stuff, though, unfortunately, is BOE green patterns. So you buy them on the auction house, and it kind of is unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, we'll see. The patterns are going to drop in the open world. People are going to throw them up on the auction house, and based on what's available, might end up choosing a piece of Fellcloth or two. We'll see. We'll see. 2% is pretty high drop rate. Yeah. I mean, it drops a pretty dope robe, right? BOE robe. A pattern for it. You could craft it. I don't know what the reagents are or anything on it, too. I should research that, but this is a consideration. This would help for mages and warlocks. You can probably make decent money selling Robe of Winter Night if you're early. Is Robe of the Void Elbers? No, it's the pattern drops off of Ganling and Skoloman 7%, so it's kind of low. And then it's BOP, so you can't even sell it. You can't even sell it, dude. How do you join the guild? Join the Discord and then go to the guildy chat in there. And I'm sure people will take care of you there. There's some application in there. Man. BOP pattern, Arcanite, Dragonling recipe. Oh yeah, Arcanite, Dragonling. That's another thing I want. I think you buy that one, right? You buy that one from the engineer vendor in STV. Don't forget Headmaster staff. Good call, but the thing is, you don't really want to use a staff though. Sell me on the idea of using a staff as a warlock. I don't know, man. It's kind of sketch, dude. Well, I guess I'm thinking mainly for PvP. For PvE, maybe it's fine. For PvP, it's probably fine to use a staff, right? For PvE. For PvP, though, you just need the offense. The offense are just so important in PvP. You have a rotation of them. You can use Skull, then throw on a medicine pouch. Use medicine pouch, throw on a Skull. You have like a rotation, because some of those fights in open world can drag on for a while. And you go through probably two offense. Drops off the same thing as Robe. Yeah, it's a very low drop chance, though. Headmaster's Charge. Let me see what that is. Some people... That's another thing I don't even have on this list, though. Thank you for bringing that up. Every time I think I have it figured out, there's more items that are coming to my attention. The cool thing about Headmaster's Charge, though, it's actually really dope, is it gives 20 additional intellect to party members within 30 yards. Let me try and zoom in on it so you can see it. It's kind of scuffed. You can't see it all the way on the left. Let me try and... There you go. You can see it now. So, that stacks with AI. That stacks with AI. So, 20 additional int. It's kind of a lot. Stacks with AI. 10-minute cooldown. How long does the buff last, though? Is the buff 10 minutes? So, it's 100% uptime? If it's 100% uptime, man, that is juicy. Headmaster's really low drop. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be running Skull events a lot. You just kind of cross your fingers and stuff anyway. Thanks for doing so much work for the community, Cargos. We appreciate you, man. That's very nice of you to say, Raven. I enjoy it, though. You guys are helping me out a lot here, too, because a lot of this stuff still figuring out, you know, like, let me go back here. So, all right. I have a question for you guys. Multiple questions. I kind of have all the items I want listed out here, more or less. I wonder what the order of operations is. I'm thinking that I level up and get Spirit of Aquamentus and Skull of Impending Doom and some of those quest ones. What is the first dungeon you run? Or what is the first thing you do? Maybe you go, if that cloak is there, maybe you go to Hinterlands and knock that out and get it. Maybe as soon as you hit 60, you just go get Fellcloth and just keep farming that. If you get to 60 before a lot of people, maybe that's the play. It's so hard to break it down into an order of operations of what to do first. On the same note, Stratholme, even though a lot of this stuff isn't guaranteed quest rewards in there, really none of it is, there's 10 things you can get from Stratholme. 10 things. Or maybe I go into Maraudon right away and try and get that Inventor's Focal Blade and get some gold going. There's so many options. That's the beauty of Vanilla WoW. I'm not exactly sure where to start. You need a lot of stuff, and it's just figuring out what you're going to do. So yeah, Spirit of Aquamentus, Deep Woodlands Cloak, Eye of Orgrimmar Ring. Eye of Orgrimmar Ring, so good. That's BRD. So maybe you do BRD first, too. You could do the Princess Run, BRD, get your attunements done. Maybe attunements is the play. But why do you have to rush to do attunements? Is it valuable to rush to do attunements? You can just do those whenever you want. That's not something that you benefit from being ahead of the pack on. Just knock the attunements out whenever. Strat can take a while. Inventor's Sword you can get before 60. Just get a Princess Farm group. Absolutely. Yep. Hey, Cargos, any plans for another GMA soon? Yes, this week for sure we're going to do a GMA. We're overdue for that. So many items from Strat and Skolo. At the same time, though, Strat and Skolo aren't the easiest things ever if you're super fresh. I mean, you can still definitely do it, for sure. I don't know, man. Maybe it's is it BRD? Let's see. Lord Valthalak's Staff of Command is really nice early on. I think I have that on here. Under staffs. Lord Val... Wormthalak? Trindlehaven? Is this what you're talking about? Or is this something else? Maybe I can add it. Wormthalak drops something in Elber's, 14%. If you're head of the pack, Fellcloth farming is super valuable. I know, man. I know. Fellcloth. I'm going to level and do Fellcloth farming while I level. I don't think it's the most efficient line, but if I can get sufficiently ahead of the pack and then hit up Fellwood and start knocking out Fellcloth farming, getting some tubers going, and doing Timbermaw rep for the medicine pouch all at the same time and just sit there killing the demons, I'm going to do that for as long as possible, pretty much. Oh, what's up, Infra? Good to see you in here, my man. Yo, Cargos, love your content. Thank you, man. Thank you. BRD 55 to 60, so hopefully we'll not need to do it at 60 much. Yeah. I don't know about doing BRD 55 to 60. How do you guys feel about doing BRD as soon as possible? If you were like in the middle of the pack or something and you kind of had to, maybe. I just think there's more. If you're ahead of the pack and you're 55 and you're ahead of the pack, why try and make a dungeon group? Maybe just take advantage of the open world more. That's the thing. I'm going to have skinning too. But at the same time, I feel bad about this. Because if I go try and do Devil Sores, the whole time I'm killing Devil Sores, I'm going to be thinking to myself, damn, I could be doing Fellcloth grinding right now. I could be getting more Fellcloth in Ajara or in Fellwood. So it's tough. Answer your question, let me see. What did you say? Cargos, did you see my question? Cargos question. Certain abilities scale with AP versus SP. How do you know which abilities scale with which? For example, even though Rogue is a melee class, I've heard Poison scales with SP. Yeah, I think Poisons are I think Poison's the only thing for Rogues that scales with SP. What else would scale with Spell Power? When I think of Spell Power Rogue, I always think about the Poisons. I think that's it, man. Spell Power scaling for Rogue? I think it's just Poisons. Hi, do you know if The of Shadow Wrath here will be in the Gamut release. If so, the greens of Shadow Wrath are Abyss for locks until BWL. I think they'll be there. Yeah, I think they'll be there. Yeah, I mean Abyss in a certain light though, man. It's Oh man, yeah, they'll be there. I think Cargos is going Orc Warlock for his PvP build. Yeah, exactly. Paladins have some weird stuff too. Yeah, Spelladin. I don't know if that stuff is right though. So the spell power coefficients on private servers, I know particularly for Paladins, have always been kind of scuffed, and there's been stuff wrong with Paladins on every iteration of different private servers. So we'll see what happens for the real thing. You think Spelladin is going to be a real thing? You think spell power Rogue, spell power Hunter, is that stuff going to be, still possible? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Orc Lock Abyss, Rogue worst matchup, stun resist OP, and no what if to deal with. Orc Lock is very strong, absolutely. I'm not convinced that Rogue is the hard counter though. I think it's the hard. It can potentially be a hard counter if you go Destro, which is what most people go, or if you're SM Ruin or DS Ruin potentially. DS Ruin you should be all right, man. But if Rogue opens up on you, he can't dispel off the shield, right? I mean, maybe he gets you to pop shield and he resets. Or something like that. Maybe he gets you to pop the shield and then he rocket elms you or does something and he goes and resets and then you don't have the shield anymore and it opens up on you again. That's probably what I would do if I was a rogue. But I don't know. I feel pretty good against rogues. If you have all the tools you need, like as a warlock, they're not able to dispel off that shield. And just between two Voidwalker shields, I think it's like 6k worth of health on those Voidwalker shields. It's like 2,900 or something like that on each Voidwalker shield. It's pretty crazy, but we'll see what happens. I thought you were going no mage. Nah, man, no mage gaming. No mage. Warrior can be unfearable, which makes them trouble. True, but I'm finding myself not using fear right off the bat as a warlock. I've said this before. You have so many high impact instant casts, and you're trying to get a lot of your stuff up when you're opening up on someone in a fight. Like you usually start with Shadow Burn, you throw up your Curse of Agony, throw up your Corruption. If you're, I'm assuming you're soloing, so you start with Shadow Burn, Corruption, then Agony, Siphon Life. So that's already what 5-6 globals or something like that. Then you might use an engineering thing. You might throw a grenade at that point, or you might cast an Immolate, get that up as well. Probably not an Immolate, though. You're probably not going to cast an Immolate. It's hard to find time to cast an Immolate. And then at a certain point, your Shadow Burn's going to be off cooldown again. You also have Death Coil that you can use. So you're not really sitting there trying to hard cast a fear and getting obsessed with controlling him in that sense. You can trade really efficiently. And if you have Fel Concentration as a Warlock, you can just throw all your dots up and just hit all your high-impact instants and then just start drain tanking them in the face. And if you have Fel Concentration, more often than not, you're going to win that trade, man. I've really never felt more powerful than playing a Warlock in a 1.112 environment so far in PvP. It's pretty broken, man. Warlock is just a budget mage. Never forget. Oh man, the Warlocks, the mages don't like Warlocks. It's funny, man. Talking with North about it, they call us mud slingers, poop slingers. Hey man, let's do some duels. What's good, Congress? Planning lock leveling on Classic? Yep, pretty much. We're just talking about launch plans in general, what the order of operations is. I'm really trying to think what the best play here is. There's going to be a lot of factors, though, right? Maybe you hit 60 and there's 4 other high-speed people there available, and then they're just online and they want to run dungeons, then you do dungeons at that point. But if I had to pick one thing to do if you got ahead of the pack, it would probably be Felcloth farming. Maybe, though. Okay, here's another dilemma, guys. What is more efficient? Felcloth farming or spamming Maraudon? Because you can farm the Felcloth, right? And get the Felcloth, but how many are you going to get per hour? 5? 6? Something like that? What if you just farm 55, 60 gold and Maraudon in that hour? Could you buy more Felcloth? That's a decision you just have to, I guess, gauge the market. You just have to gauge the market, man. For yourself. It'd be Felcloth farming for yourself. Like, how much would Felcloth be on a fresh server in here? Like, 4 or 5 gold? What if it's 5 gold a Felcloth? And then you make 60 gold an hour in Maraudon. 60 divided by 5. That's 12 Velcloth. Right? That's 12 Velcloth. So I'm no rocket scientist, but it seems like Mardon's better. Seems like Mardon's better. I don't know. But at the same time, man, I don't know. Like, are people going to want to sell the Velcloth is a thing, too? Are there people going to... Is there going to be a strong... Because everybody needs Velcloth at the beginning. Who's selling that? Make sure your items are available in Phase 1. Some suggestions people are giving won't be. I also don't think Don Mauricio's band will be either. Interesting. Let's go look that up. Don Mauricio's band is off of Dark Master Gambling, right? Let's go. I'm going to look that up, man. Don Mauricio's band. Thanks for the tip. Mauricio's band. Wowpedia. Wow Gamepedia. Added in 110. Holy moly, man. It was added with the dungeon sets. Yo, legend. I love the chat. The chat is so legendary. I think this is a big F for Don Mauricio's. Because dungeon set stuff is pretty much coming later. Good call. Really good call. Thank you so much. Dude, I should just go slide by side and see if people have any issues with it. That is super good. Don't you think Orc Male kind of looks stupid as the caster? I don't think so, man. They look brolic, man. They got traps up to their ears, and people say they look dumb on the Warlock mount. Well, bro, I'm gonna be on the Black War Raptor sooner or later, and I look pretty sweet on that. Orc Warlock on that. I think it looks cool. Orcs in Vanilla WoW look the most savage. They look really badass. If you look at my guy and his face, I think he looks really cool. Everything's going to need Felcloth for themselves, not at launch. Let's see. You aren't going to see it being sold for a week or two. See, that's the thing. If it's not on the auction house, then you might as well farm it. So, but the basic math, if it's 5 gold to Felcloth, and I'm making 60 gold in Maradon, or let's say it's 55 or something like that, I'm still making 10 to 12. I'm still basically going to be able to get, I'm going to get 10 to 12 Felcloth per hour at that point instead of farming 5 to 6 an hour. But the 5 to 6 an hour that you do make, you are getting other stuff too. You're getting rune cloth, you're getting other stuff that you need, you're getting potions, you're getting demonic runes. All right, I'm kind of getting sold on it, thinking it through with you guys. You're getting demonic runes, you're getting Timber Maw rep because you can kind of like bounce over there a little bit. You can, I'm getting kind of sold on it. Maybe you do just when you hit 60, maybe that's what you do. Warlocks and Nemesis look awesome, especially shoulders. Oh yeah, Nemesis is great. Where can you find information on the server list coming out for Classic? I don't think there's anything out there yet, man. I think it's the 11th. Chat, when is the name reservation? 11th? I think it's 11th. I heard that Iron Foe drop chance is nerfed compared to P servers. Yeah, dude. Yup. Yep, it should be nerfed, John. Just in the sense that I've had multiple people say back in the day it was not really farmable. It was some kind of, it was 0.0 or 0.001% drop chance. And I really do think private servers took the liberty because it's a fun item. Iron Foe is a fun item. It's a cool item. It's really, really cool. It's more you get the double melee. And that's a cool item. And they wanted to make that more part of the meta. And maybe they took some liberties probably. They wanted to make it more part of the game. And so they bumped it up to 1%. So all the tanks would go farm and get Iron Foes. And eventually they'd all get it. But it doesn't seem farmable at this point with 0.01. 13th, 12th in the US. Okay, thank you very much. Can you please have this vid up for some time? There's so many items you show here and where to get in Classic. I will eventually release this as a guide. See, some of this stuff I'm already making edits to it. It's really good to get all these eyeballs on it. Thank you guys for this. So I'm probably going to hide this VOD after. But this is going to be coming out as a more like formal presentation with kind of a script and not really a script, but it's going to be better. It should be coming out in the next day or two for all my Warlocks out there. And this is something that I'm going to share amongst my Warlock core, and we're going to improve it together. And we're going to have the best. We're going to have the best class in our guild. I'm going to be Warlock class leader for Invictus, and we're going to have the best class. When people see Invictus Warlocks on the server, you're going to shit their pants, dude. They're going to be like, those boys don't play. They are on point. They are organized. They are deadly. They move with a purpose. Yeah, that's happening. 60upgrades.com. I heard that's really good. Yeah, people were saying that's a good way you can find all the upgrades there. I'm gonna hit that up. Thank you, Dad. Yeah, that'd be really useful for this. I've heard of it. I just haven't used it myself. Yup. Dusty coming for you. Yup. Hunters aren't nerfed. They were good in original Classic, won't be good now. P servers are wrong that isn't a Classic problem. I kind of agree, man. Could you share your template or parts? It's coming out soon, man. I'm glad you guys are interested in it, though. I've been working hard. The actual slide itself and the frames, everything looks super dope. Brandon has been going hard helping to make the art assets for it and stuff like that. All right, so let's go through the previous list. I'm actually curious. I'm going to be a little selfish here, see if you guys have any issues with this. So for helm, fellcloth hood, and goblin rocket helm, I'm getting these two. Thing is, fellcloth hood may or may not be available when I hit 60 because it's a BOE recipe, so I can't plan for it. So what am I going to plan for? I'm going to plan for probably crimson. I don't like this green lens. Do you guys like this green lens? This is the thing that engineers can make, but it rolls just totally random stats, and it has like resistance stats on it too, which can be its own thing, like green lens of fire resistance. Seems kind of like a meme, dude. I feel like you would waste so much money trying to make these to try and high roll a Shadow Wrath. I don't know, man. I don't know about this green lens, but I put it on here because I am going to be an engineer, so maybe it's going to be good. Crimson Hat Phase 2. Thank you so much, Infra. My man, dude. Thank you, dude. Yup, there we go. There's a big F in the chat for Crimson. This is very, very useful, guys. Making this a much better resource. Thank you, guys. Okay, good to know. Good to know. This is dope. This is dope. Okay, so far so good. Green lens. How do you guys feel? One's in the chat if green lens is good. Two, and then F in the chat if it sucks. I don't know. There's so many variations of this. Even on a PTR, I spawned like 20 of them. I got like 1 or something, dude. F. That's a big F, Infra. F. I love the green lens. F. I mean, you could buy it, right? If they have it on the auction house. F's. All right, F's in the chat for green lens. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I was on the fence with this, dude. Lots of F's. All right, moving on. Necklace. Star of Mystaria. This one, Stratholme, is good. It's got hit on it. I don't think you're going to be, that's the thing, too. You're not going to be able to get that 16% hit that you need. Like, there's no chance. All your suppression talents only work for your affliction stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems like knocking off 1% hit off this huge lump sum of hit that you're missing, how valuable is that? With that said, it's a 20% drop chance in Stratholme. I'm debating between Honestari Heirloom or Star of Mystaria. These are both pretty dope. This one is 7% off Gandling. That one seems fine, but ain't nobody's, you're not gonna kill. You can't reliably get this 7% chance on Gandling, man. Look at all 3 of these though dropping Stratholme. How crazy is that, man? Stratholme is just nutty. Star of Mystaria, Honestari Heirloom, and Diana's Pearl Necklace. Diana's Pearl Necklace, not phase 1. Dead of Night, legend, dude. I'll put a big red on it. I'll check it. I'll check it later. I'll look it up on Wikipedia. Thanks, dude. Over the whole raid, the plus hit will be better. Did you talk about talents yet in different specs? Yeah, we've just been kind of all over the place, man. We've been talking about everything. We've been talking about everything. Green lens is amazing. Someone said green lens is amazing. Where do you say that? But green lens is amazing. No idea why people are effing it. You just buy the one you need. Oh, it's Eben, yo. What's up, Eben, dude? Big content creator, hot rising stock in the classic WoW content game. Blessing us, gracing us with this presence. Eben, how the hell are you, man? Good to see you in here, dude. You've been going hard. You've been pumping with those videos, my man. You've been pumping. Poggers in the chat for Eben Flow. The druid. The horde druid. That's awesome, man. Good to see you in here, bro. Yeah, so green lens, okay. Eben, it's got Eben's endorsement in there, man. So yeah, gotta give it a shot. Eben is legit. Hell yeah. Makes a hell of a video. That's for sure. You might want Eagle Lens, Healing Lens, Frost Lens. Yeah, so it's the type of thing you probably wouldn't craft it. You just buy it, right? You just buy it off the auction house. Jacob, man, the chat's moving, man. Let me see what you said, bro. I'm not ignoring you, bro. What did you say, Jacob? Jacob. I'm not seeing your question, man. Yeah, I can't find it, dude. I'm scrolling all the way up. If you can post it again, I'll answer your question, Jacob. Sorry about that. Green lens of Blank Wrath is BIS for mages and warlocks, but finding one with the second highest stat is usually unrealistically expensive. Yep. So I don't know if you spend all your time crafting it yourself, but if you see it up in the auction house, why the hell not, right? So Star of Mystaria, seems like there's not any other problems with this slide, we'll move on to the next one. Here we go. Shoulder options, fell cloth. Fell cloth just makes me die inside. +5 spirit, no stam. You're just a living, breathing, walking potato, just waiting for a rogue to clap you. This'll T. Something that you can make, but I think I like something with stamina or something, man. I don't know. It has a ton of shadow damage on it, though. 26. Look at this burial shawl, though. This is just not farmable. 4% chance drop off Alexi and 1% drop off other bosses and Skullomans. Is that even correct, that drop chance? I don't even know. We'll see. TBD. But there's not a whole lot of options at the moment. Duzidin Mantle, Fellcloth Shoulders. Can you explain why you think hit is more important than crit? I mean, it's just kind of the age-old thing that's been passed around. You know, you got to hit, you got to connect with your abilities or your attacks, and it's just more valuable in the long run. In the long run. Burial Shawl is phase 2. Check the items wowhead pages. Okay. Thank you, Infra, bro. We'll go through it. This stuff isn't, you know, fully polished yet. I'm just sharing. This is the sneak peek with you guys. We're getting a little taste, and this isn't even the leveling guide. This is the prebis. This stuff is coming much later. So, phase 2 and phase 6. Thuzen Dental, not phase 1. So we got to find some more shoulders then, because I'm not happy with just. I'm not happy with just Fellcloth. Fellcloth shoulders, man. I use this one when raiding, but I gotta throw something else on out in the open world, man. This just feels bad. +5 spirit. Let's see. Okay, so we'll move on. If you have any other shoulder recommendations, throw them in the chat. It would be very useful. Moving on to cape. Deep Woodlands Cloak may or may not be available, depending on, you know, if that quest is going to be in the game. We'll see. If it is, this is going to be my go-to. Other than that, Archivist Cape seems like a nightmare to farm. Random bonuses. So you're going to have to be running a lot of Strathhome. Hopefully you get lucky and RNG one out. So this Spritecaster Cape, though, 25% drop off of Houndmaster and BRD. That's a nice, juicy drop rate. 25%. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Alright, no issues here. Let's keep moving. That's Cape. Chest options, Robe of the Void. That's what I dream about. That's what I'm going to be fantasizing about. But Fellcloth Robe is kind of nice too. 36 shadow damage on it, and it's got some stam. I'm just itching to get any piece with stam on it. It just makes me a happy man. So Fellcloth is kind of compelling. Then you got this Robe of Winter Night, but I'm going to really be gunning for this Robe of the Void. Big reason why I'm going tailoring. Big reason. What is this, PowerPoint webpage? It's just a PowerPoint, Geoff. It's just a PowerPoint going through potential pre-bis options here in Phase 1. Shadow Weave Shoulders, less DPS but the stam. Let me write that down. Thank you, dude. Shadow Weave Shoulders. Kentic Amin. Dude, this is amazing. Leveraging the hive mind of the chat's infinite knowledge to come up with better decisions. Kentic Amin. Dead of Night. It may be, though, Dead of Night. So Deep Wood, like, the question is if that Hinterlands quest is going to be there. I know they added that quest in the game later, but there's a chance that it's there in Phase 1, that quest. Even with all things considered. Robe of the Void is great. Yeah, I hope I get Robe of the Void, man. So, doesn't seem like there's any issues here. Okay. Bracer options. Dude, bracers, cloth bracers seem like a major yikes. There does not seem to be a lot of good cloth bracer options. This Arena Wrist Guards is kind of a meme. 5% drop off the Arena Treasure Chest in Gurubashi Arena. Very reliable to get, absolutely, but it is a BOE. And then Flame Weave Cups. You're going to be doing BRD a bunch of times, right? So, you know, but I don't know, man. That's kind of sketch too. Like, there's not even a baseline stat that's good on there. It's not even just like a +5 int or something that's good. It's totally random, and you get fire resistance on it. I missed Jacob again. Oh my god, let me check again. Sorry, dude. Thanks for answering. I asked which healing playstyle you think is less boring for endgame PvE, Resto Druid or Holy Paladin? I would play Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin is so good in vanilla, man. Holy Paladin is so good. So good, dude. I mean, Eben's in here. He'd probably fight for Resto Druids. Resto Druids are dope, but what do you guys think? Someone who's on the fence, between classes and they're considering Druid or something else, I think if you're playing Druid, you already know you're playing Druid. You're like a Druid enthusiast. You love the Druid ethos, and you're just gonna go for it. You embrace that underdog mentality. When you're comparing like a super tier 1 amazing powerful healer like a Holy Paladin, good in all facets of the game, with Druid, I'm just gonna recommend you Druid, dog. Rest of Druids are more interesting, but being powerful is interesting, man. Like being powerful and having the most high impact buffs, and that's also very interesting. Okay. Anything with the bracers though? Funeral cuffs. Funeral cuffs. Funeral cuffs. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Molten Chorus. Yeah, we're thinking about Prebis though. Shadow Wrath bracers with the green bracers, right? Good feedback, good feedback. Good feedback, good feedback. Shadowy bracers, is that a thing? I'll write it down. I'll look all this stuff up after. Kentic Amiss shoulders. Kentic Amiss shoulders. Yeah, we got that. I got that for the shoulders. Thank you, bro. Okay. So yeah, the bracers need some work, man. Bracers seem like a big wipe. A big yike, sorry. Okay. Gloves. This Gloves of Spell Mastery, I'm going to take off here because this is just a BOE world drop, but I think it's only off like the bosses. So I'm going to take that off. Mana Shaping Hand Wraps, 2% drop off Watchman, Doom Grip, and Blackrock Depths. Maybe I take that off too. That's just not happening. Hands of Power seems like the best bet. Only real consistent thing out of these options here. The Atalai Gloves is another thing that's just, you have to high roll a little bit in Sunken Temple. 7% chance drop off Sunken Temple bosses. I think Hands of Power are the way. Got some Russian members of the community in here. What's up, man? How's it going? Why don't you go with some green ones with Stam Int or maybe even Spell Damage? Yeah, could do. I feel absolutely could do. At the end of the day, you're just looking at what kind of stats are on it, right? So, Magiskull Cuffs. Bracers with the most intellect pre-raid phase 1. In for my man. Thank you, dude. Magiskull Cuffs. Manacle Cuffs. Dude, getting the chat strats right here. Thank you, guys. Shadowy Bracers Quest 8 Int 4 SP Shadow Spell up to 4. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Shadowy Bracers, dude. Nice. Mana Shaping Hand Wraps, not phase 1. Okay, either way, I'm probably going to take this off because it's 2% drop off of Watchman Doom Grip. I'll highlight it though. Could you describe your thought process of choosing Warlock over Hunter? I'm kind of in the same boat and actually like the idea of Warlocks, but the complete lack of mobility kind of sucks. Dude, I don't think I've ever felt more powerful than playing Warlock. It's that simple. There's ways to make it work. If you're lacking mobility, there's items and consumables and stuff that you can work with. Just Swiftness Potions, very high impact consumable for Warlocks. You still got Goblin Rocket Boots or whatever. Or I mean, the Gnomish Boots, the Goblin Boots. You can use those. You also have stuff that can just CC people so you can get away. Just hit someone with the Magic Dust and run. You can use the invisibility, whatever the cloaking device. There's Rocket Helm, Netomatic. There's lots of ways you can do to give your character extra finesse. There's lots of things in vanilla that you can go out and farm or obtain. So, you can make that aspect of it work, man. But I've never felt more powerful than playing a Warlock right now. This class is insane. It is insane, dude. Just your pets are insane. Your Fell Hunter is like a mage and a priest. Offensive and defensive dispel on an 8-second cooldown. Imp CS on your thing, and he's pretty much unfuckwithable from spells because he's basically resistance capped. Dude, insane. Are you gonna play a gnome? No, I'm gonna play an orc, man. Hey, Mans, what's up, dude? Warlocks are possibly the most OP class in World PvP. Only thing other than S-Priest that I really struggle against. Yeah, there's a variety of ways to play the class too. You have high tempo, burst damage, glass cannon, destruction playstyle, where you go NS can flag, and you just pumping on people and using the succubus, you got that option to you. You can go for the demonic sacrifice shadow mastery, so that's DSSM, SMDS, whatever you call it, for like super hard hitting spread pressure with your dots. You can go Soul Link, so you can be a tanky big boy that's just disrupting people on the battlefield. So many different playstyles, so many different abilities. Class is just insane. Okay. What class is the best in open world PvP in your opinion? Open world PvP? Warlock. I love PvP, and since I'm coming Horde side now in Classic, which healer is best for battle? Resto Shaman or good old Priest? Very different. They kind of have different healing styles, man. Like Resto Shaman, smart healing. But both are kind of offensive healers, though, right? So Shamans are very proactive about stuff. They have Purge, they have Grounding Totem, they have stuff that they have to do proactively instead of reactively. Priest is also kind of offensive in the sense that they can offensively dispel. Shaman's probably more offensive of a healer, though, thinking about it. I know priests have a reputation for being the most offensive healers, but I don't know. Just different, man. Do you like providing people with Wind Fury Totem and making all their dreams come true? Play Shaman, dude. Cargos is the ultimate Warlock shill. I am, dude. I am. I love Warlocks, man. And, man, love Warlocks. Joker, good to see you still chilling here, my man. But Cargos, is it not about time we talk about the elephant in the room? Soul Shard farming. So true, though. Malrex. It is actually way more of a painful thing than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So if people are considering going Warlock, I would think, from the outside looking in as a non-Warlock player, I thought that farming Soul Shards was going to be a piece of cake. Like, dude, just farm a few Soul Shards. How is it hard? You just go out there and you just grind for like 20 minutes and you get all the Soul Shards you need for the day. False. You grind for 20 minutes, you get all the Soul Shards you need for the next 30 minutes. Like, you really are constantly farming Soul Shards. It's a major pain point. And if you're playing on like a little PTR where you can just spawn them all the time and you're just using Shadow Burn willy-nilly, you know, you feel like you're living the good life, but there's a lot of Soul Shard farming, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, those Soul Shards, damn. I know, it seems like it wouldn't be a big deal. It's kind of a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. Warlocks can fear people into mobs and have strong survivability against ganks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Cargos, I'll be leveling with my Arms Warrior buddy, and I'm bouncing between Est Priest and Locke. I prefer Locke, but can't get past the power of a Pocket Priest with Warrior for PvP. Okay, let me see what you're saying here. Est Priest and Locke. Est Priest and Locke. I mean, you have more flexibility in terms of what roles you can play as a priest, right? Because even though you're a Shadow Priest, you can still just respec Holy or Disc. You have different options on the table. If you're gonna roll with a Warrior, though, do you go Est Priest Warrior? Wouldn't you go Disc Priest with a Warrior? Both good classes, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. If you're gonna roll with a Warrior, I mean, if you're gonna roll with a Warrior, buddy, then play the Priest. Rolling Locke for the first time after mating 3 mages since the Nostalgia is super hype. Yeah, man, you should be hyped. It's a good time to be a Warlock, for sure. Dueling in front of Orgrimmar and you hate using Hellstones and Shadowburn, you're gonna handicap yourself all the time. Soul Shards suck. Yeah, dude, you use a lot of Soul Shards because Shadowburn, out of all the Warlock spells, surprised me the most. I didn't really see on paper, looking at it from the outside, looking in, not playing a Warlock, how valuable it was. The thing is such high. It does a lot of damage. It's such good tempo. It's instant cast. It's shadow damage. It's so good. Shadowburn is so good. And if you start the fight with Shadowburn, it's the first global you use against the person, you will have it up again you will have it again in that engagement. And just between 2 Shadowburns and some ticks of your instant cast dots that you've applied, the person's almost dead, man. To be honest. Do you think Ellie Shaman is better than Enhanced Shaman while leveling with a Disc/Holy Priest? I think you can level as Ellie as well, yeah. I just think the main thing with Warlocks, I mean with Shamans, I know it's different. I mean, Ellie has come a long way. People have kind of proven its worth when it comes to leveling. If you're buying max strength water and stuff and you're doing what you got to do, Ellie can level. Ellie can be pretty strong. That's the thing about Ellie, though. I was talking to Navac about this yesterday, and he said most classes, we were talking about the spell power coefficients, right? And how the slower your the base cast time of your spell is going to determine what your spell power coefficient is, right? And most classes can shave off 0.5 seconds from their primary spell that they use, where shamans can shave off a full second. So they scale maybe better than people are thinking, because they're going to get benefit from the slower spell coefficient, but they're going to be casting way faster. Free water for days. When you get level 10 as a warlock, you should already be thinking about having enough soul shards for MC. Dude, the soul shards are a very real deal, for sure. For sure. Are there going to be soul shard bags in Classic? Yeah, there will be. There will be Fellcloth bag, or what is it called? Corehound bag? Let me look it up, dude. Well, there's not that many of them, though. The main one is you get you get the small soul pouch from the Succubus quest. You get a little bit of an upgraded one with the Fellhunter quest. I think it's like 20, and then Core Fellcloth bag, 28 slots. That's the big boy one. That's the one you want from. That's the one you want. You get it from MC. That's the one. Make a soul shard alt cargos, dude. Real talk though. When you did your male troll shaman leveling, did you enjoy their animations and look? Absolutely. Troll animations are badass. I think the casting animations are pretty cool. Probably like the undead casting animations more. But the melee, oh man, swinging that two-hander, kind of looks like they're doing capoeira. Like they're kind of just like swinging their leg around like they're kicking. Like it looks pretty awesome, man. Troll warrior, troll shaman with two-hander, they look really cool. Me and my buddy dual rogue leveling. Think it's a good idea to take a break from leveling for SM chest runs at 30, or just be. I wouldn't do the SM chest runs at 30. That was good in the level 30 or 40 meta, but is that stuff really gonna put out good GPM? And I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you just get to 60 and start doing like BRD pickpocket runs or something like that? Not sure. Does Soul Shard despawn upon logging out? No, it stays in your bag. Thank the heavens, dude. Thank Ragnaros. That would be a nightmare. Oh, they still stay there. They still stay there. Yup. Did you already discuss Bislex? No, we didn't. Yeah, we'll keep going. Sorry, we'll finish this off. This will be last thing we do. Okay, so we did gloves, belt, clutch of Andros. This has some hit on it, pretty nice. Off of the Bat Boss and Skolomance, and then Thuzedan Sash. Someone was saying Thuzedan Mantle wasn't in though on shoulders, so maybe this won't be in. Thuzedan Mantle. If Thuzedan Mantle is not in, Thuzedan Sash shouldn't be in as well. Let me I'll confirm that later though. I'll put a red thing on it for now. So yeah, we need to find more options. I want to have 2-3 options. Ideally like 4 options for each slot, but I don't know. Phase 1, maybe it's going to be tough to do that. Okay, leg options. Fellcloth for sure. Sky Shroud, these are pretty nice. These are pretty nice. I like the stat profile on this. Stam Int, really like this. Spirit Shroud leggings, 20% drop off the beast and UBRS. Got a ton of spirit on it though. Not super hype about that spirit, but you know, is it better than Fellcloth pants? Got some stam on it. Replaced with Banthok Sash. Oh, I can't believe I forgot about Banthok Sash. Good call, man. Good call. Banthok Sash. Yeah. That's the one from Elbers, right? Banthok Sash. Thanks, dude. Would it be wise to level as a Feral Druid then change spec the rest, though? I know it's expensive to change. You're saying while leveling be resto? I've seen people do it. I've seen people level as partially resto. Depends on how you're going to level. You know, if you're going to level with a group, you're going to level solo. Yeah, I mean, there's some good high-impact resto talents, like being able to power shift. That's in the resto talent tree, right? The first 5 in there. There's some high-impact stuff in there, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't be my preferred route of going. I'd probably go down into the balance tree and pick up Omen of Clarity, and then proceed down into the Feral tree. You can splash into Resto though and get some talents in Resto. Oh, Bantok from BRD. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll add all this stuff later. Appreciate it. Will you put stuff like head/leg enchant on blues? Or are you waiting for epic bist? Depends, man. Depends if the bankroll is gonna permit. There's not a ton of enchants though. Like there's no shoulders, no head. There's not that many enchants phase 1, right? Thanks for answering, man. Of course. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's the legs. Boots. Maleki foot wraps, these are dope. 27 shadow damage, 9 stam, 9 int. These seem awesome, dude. These seem so good. And then we also got Dragon Rider boots off Rend and Omnicast boots, 25% drop off Golem Lord Argolmach in Blackrock Depths. Good, some good options for boots. Any issues here? Anything messed up? A little off subject. I love the content. What are you thinking? 1 to 60 for a Warrior Shaman duo? What are you thinking? It's very good. Warrior Shaman tier 1, god tier. Very, very strong. Gonna have a good time. Shared weapon progression. You can go get your, crescent staff. You can use staffs, then get your you can get your cauldron stir, crescent staff, and just keep the pain train going the whole way. Sharing the same weapon progression, backing each other up, dropping that Wind Fury totem at 32. Yo, what up, Cargos? Looking forward to tearing up MC with you week 1. Hell yeah. Thundermo, are you Invictus, man? We got anybody from Invictus in here? Best guild? When does this ultimate guide will be available? Soon, very soon, man. I've been working on it. That's why I'm not going to stream too long, because when I stream 6-8 hours a day, I just don't have enough gas in the tank to keep working on them. So I'm going to maybe stream 3 to 4 hours and so I can get some of this stuff out. Maleki phase 2. Oh, don't crush my dreams like that. No, dude. Is it phase 2? Let me look that up. Don't crush my dreams. Maleki's foot wraps. Don't tell me that's phase 2, bro. 1.4. Oh, my Lanta, dude. Are they really gonna add some stuff like that in phase? I guess they will. That's Dire Maul, right? Well, phase 4 is honor system, and it's gonna also be Dire Maul. Cheese and rice. That thing is so good. Cargos, how do you feel about being threat capped in raids? I feel bad about it, but I feel bad about it. It's way more of an. I mean, I always knew it was going to be an issue being a Horde Warlock. It's not like it just hit me out of left field, but really feeling it. I'm popping lips all the time. I'm dying in UBRS. You really have to tone it down, and that's why I kind of want to go Soul Link, because I'm threat capped, like you said. Like you are just using globals to tap and do other stuff because you're just gonna pull. I'm sad your Twitch isn't working today. I know, me too, Sarmonica, me too. Me too. How do you feel? What do you think about Rogue Mage dual leveling? Not a lot of synergy. Not a lot of synergy. You could do it for sure, but the Mage would probably opt to not go like any kind of AoE build or anything. They'd probably go Fire. Fire might be interesting to explore, and just single target stuff down. You could totally do it. If one of your homies, like one of your best friends, was playing Mage and you were playing Rogue, by all means, you can make any duo work and be pretty effective with it. But as far as like massive damage synergy or anything like that, nothing really sticks out. Necropile and Postmaster's boots are good. Dead of Night, is the Necropile set phase 1? If it is, I'm very excited about that, because that's going to be my phase 1 PvP gear. And like I said, I came up with a set that I have 4,400 unbuffed health. Let me pull it up, actually. I can read it to you guys. I've been playing around with stuff. Wolf. Dragon Rider, not phase 1? Cheese and rice, man. Okay. I'll have to double check all this stuff. Wolf Runner shoes. Thank you. Wolf Runner shoes. Heading to make something to eat. Hope it isn't over when I get back. See y'all. Hey, see you later to NM. Thanks for hanging out, man. Necropile, another option. Yes. So Necropile is good. Necropile's a go. Necropile's a go. Because Necropile is awesome. I'm very excited for the Necropile set. Huh. It's down. Goes bad, man. Wolf Runner BOE. Too much mages, too much silence. Do I need to download the full client to play Classic? I don't think you need to download the BFA client. No, it's going to be its own client, but I think they consolidated it down to like 5-6 gigs, which is not much. That's nothing these days. So what's your add-ons picks for Classic? There'd be a bunch of them, man. KTM for threat. Get meters as well, might as well. Get a 5-second rule tracker. Get a dot timer for warlocks. Get action bar stuff. Weak auras. Auto quest accept and turn in. Some kind of auctioneer monitoring type add-on. There's a couple of them. The stuff that's like lazy pig, you know, auto dismount, auto mail stuff. That's about it, I think. Classic will have 95% warriors, rogues, and mages. Not kidding. We'll see what happens. I think there's going to be a lot of shamans and stuff too. I think a lot of that prejudice the hybrid classes faced, you know, that was built up over time in real vanilla, probably won't be there as much come this time around too. So I mean, particularly with shamans, I think we're gonna see a lot of shamans. Damn, my plan for Fresh was to go DS Ruin for farming and sack the Voidy to have 0 downtime with the life regen, but you kind of make a point for SL. Dude, SL is just so good, man. For PvP, world PvP, and I have this vision for how I want to play it. And roll around with the troll priest all the time. I love the playstyle. You really don't feel like you have any weak matchups. It's awesome. And when you like people say, you know, Soul Link Warlock, you can't put out any pressure and stuff in PvP, like, you know, or something like that. But if you rocket dump someone, throw up Curse of Elements, and you Soulfire Searing Pain Shadow Burn them, dude, they're like dead. They're like 40% health or something, or less. Sometimes you can just one-shot them with Soulfire, you know, at those early levels. And then just Shadow Burn alone is just good DPS. I don't know. I'm feeling very capable in this spec. As a rogue, you can easily gank an AoE Mage Farmer and take his mobs. For sure. Alright, so we'll move on. Sad to see these are potentially not phase 1. Pre-raid bis, ring options. This one I really like. This is doing the Princess quest in BRD. You get this Eye of Orgrimmar. I love guaranteed quest rewards. You love to see that. Don Mauricio's band looking like an F. Made in Circle. This is going to be super expensive BOE. It's just BOE World Drop. Band of Rumination, though. Band of Rumination, pretty juicy. Did they have add-ons at Classic launch day 1? Not sure, gamer guy. Not sure. Be a good question if anyone was around since then. Why can't I see anything? Sorry, Twitch chat. Anybody in Twitch chat? Yeah, it's broken today. We'll get it fixed up for tomorrow. Sorry about that. For gnomes, when do you think it becomes viable to start dual leveling? Depends on what class you are, man. Probably right off the bat, though. Yeah, probably right off the bat. Set the practice. Don will not be at the start. Yeah. We were talking about that before, Hody. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yep, so I think nothing too crazy here. Eye of Orgrimmar, awesome. There's an Alliance equivalent if you're going Alliance. There's some kind of guaranteed... there's some kind of guarantee. I can't check it right now if I'm in midstream, dude, but there's an Alliance equivalent for this as well. So there's some kind of guaranteed Alliance ring. You guys will figure it out, I'm sure. Okay. Trinket options, Draconic Infused Emblem. I didn't see this on pre-bis lists. I'm not sure why, but we've been running Ubers, just practicing, and this seems solid, man. I love on-demand damage. This seems really, really good. Then Eye of the Beast, guaranteed quest reward for show. Briarwood Reed, another option off Jed. That's the rare spawn guy in Ubers. Burst of Knowledge, Blackrock Depths. Some pretty good trinket options. I used to play Free War and we had to get 8% hit before going to raid. Do we have to get % hit with Warlock? No, there's no way. I don't think you're getting hit capped. It's not possible to get hit on the Warlock, right? To get hit capped. It's just not possible. So the way spell hit works is like, yeah, you need a raid boss is considered 3 levels higher than you, right? So you have a 17% chance to miss against 3 levels higher than you, 16% to cap because you're always gonna have the 1% miss. There's just no way you're getting that. What is the setup you have anyway? It's just a PowerPoint. Yeah, it's a PowerPoint. It's impossible to get hit cap on Warlocks or Mages phase 1. Yup. Pretty much. The emblem was later. Was it? I'll check I'll make a note of it. Anything that people have any concern with, I'm going to make a note of and investigate. Band of Rumination, not phase 1. Replaced with Cyclopean Band, Draconic Emblem, not phase 1. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you, Dad. Alright, so Band of Cyclopean Band. Sweet. Band. So good to get all this feedback in the chat, guys. Really appreciate it. It's going to make this resource much better. Just getting all these eyeballs on it. Do hunters need hit rating? Yes, absolutely. But they can leverage some of their talents in the survival tree to get sure-footed, to try and get to make it a lot easier to get hit cap. Hunters need hit rating, yeah, they do. But they don't struggle to get hit capped. Like, they struggle early in the sense that they have to go a different spec to get sure-footed, but later you're trying to like get rid of hit. Like, you don't even use the hit scope, and you just get that little marginal increase because you have so much hit. Isn't it easier to hit with range to a certain extent? I mean, there's no glancing blows with ranged. There are 0 unused spell power trinkets in the game at phase 1. Gotcha. Good to know. Just a general little nugget right there. Hard hitting. Thank you, Hody. Is Warrior / Druid leveling combo good? Sorry if I keep asking. I'm just trying to plan. Warrior Druid, very good. Yeah, Warrior Druid is something that I think we slept on. We don't have a lot of experience, like Navac and I, testing that. But here's the thing about Warrior Druid. You know, Druid can just go shred from behind. Warrior can control it, control the mob, taunt the mob, you know, with whatever it takes to keep that threat on him. And the Druid can just get Omen of Clarity. And then for the rest of it, go a shred spec. Or you can just forgo Omen of Clarity. Maybe you don't even need it. And you just go shred spec and just carve out the mobs. Or, you know, if you're pulling a bunch of mobs and the warrior's going cleaving and stuff, he has his Whirlwind Sweeping Strike package, you can play more of that Resto style that a lot of people want to play. Hey, do we know ETA for BGs after Classic launch? In terms of months, we don't, but it's going to be Phase 3. Phase 1 is going to come out, no dishonorable kills, leveling like crazy, MC Oni. Phase 2, World Bosses, Dire Maul. Phase 3 and the PvP system. Phase 3 is going to be Warsong, and is it AV? And is Arathi based on the last one? Weirdly enough, I think that's someone will know. Well, what's the last one? It may be AV last. I think it's AB last though. Hey, do you know? Yeah. I think Omen is really not worth. I don't know, man. Omen is normalized around your auto attacks, but as a cat, you have all your auto attacks, plus you have the additional spells you're using, like whether it be Shred or Claw or whatever, so it has an increased chance to proc off of cat when you have Woman of Clarity on. It procs pretty frequently. Are you leveling as Soul Link, or is that your 60 spec? That's going to be my 60 spec. 60 spec. Since Oni is coming out on launch, will T2 Helms be in? Yeah, they should be. AB is last, right? Yep. Nice. Doesn't Mara also get that trinket that boosts your stats when you get hit? Oh, Mark of the Champion? Is that what you're talking about? Mark of the Champion is a tanking trinket, but that trinket is badass. That's actually like a BIS trinket for a long time. Mark of the Champion. Let me make sure. It's called... It might not be called that. That might be a Nexoramus trinket. No, that's an... There's some kind of champion. What is it called, guys? Someone's going to know. That green trinket where when you get hit, it gives you a bunch of stats. You know what I'm talking about? It's a green trinket. Someone's gonna know. Wait for it. Green trinket. You get hit, gives you a bunch of stats. Mark of the Chosen. Is that it? Let me see. Mark of the Chosen. Bingo, dude. Mark of the Chosen. That, yep, you are on point, my man. You are on point. Mark of the Chosen. 2% chance when struck in combat of increasing all stats by 25 for 1 minute. Good shit, man. Good shit. That's it right there. Yep, a lot of people knew it. Yep. Okay, so good to know. Some trinket options. We could. I don't know if we want to add that one though. Like, that's not really good for warlocks. I mean, you're gonna be using the PvP trinket. You're gonna be using like PvP trinkets, you know, when you're outside of raiding and stuff too. So, main hand options we talked about this were Inventor's Focal Sword, Witchblade. I'm gonna pick up the Focal Sword first. Might be another one on here. I might Hypnotic Blade. I'll write that down as a potential option. Someone said Hypnotic Blade. That's the SM one. Potential option. Offhand option. Spirit of Aquamentus. Love this. This is easy to get. Epic quest line. You can do it while leveling. Do it from Lincoln's. Then we have Drakestone. some Sunken Temple RNG high roll thing, and then Tome of the Lost, General Draxath, and Ubers. Is a true front stab will not work. It will not work, but you could just do a level and still go that same build and get the same benefit from, you know, shred and all that type of stuff. So just if you want to go that front shredding build, you want to go to shred spec, or if you want to go play like ambush, dagger rogue, you can just do a level with someone and still be able to do it really well. How many dungeons will you do while leveling? Me personally, it's going to depend. You're just going to have to make judgment calls as you go to see where people are at around you. If I'm 30 and there's a bunch of other mages and priests at 30, you best believe we're going to probably try and run into SM and then set a hard target. Be like, all right, guys, we're all agreeing. No one's leaving the computer until we go from 30 to 42. Let's go. Or 30 to 35 or whatever it might be. No Tome of the Lost Phase 1. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I got my work cut out for me, as you can see. I got to go through all this stuff and edit stuff around. Thomas Phase 5. Thank you so much, Breck. You trying for more world first? I've never done a world first in my life. I don't know if I'm capable of world first. I'm not gonna say I'm incapable, but I think people are gonna be no-lifing probably harder than me. I don't think I could get a world first, but I'm excited to put my best foot forward and to kill Rag as fast as possible with my guildies. Yo, Carl, was loving the content. Saw you testing dungeon leveling. How viable do you think melee cleave will be in a 5-man dungeon group to 60? I think it's very viable, Sam. If I had to solo level a warrior. That it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know. I feel like this is a question to the chat. You don't have friends to play with, and you're going. It's hard to paint the picture. Would you rather solo level a warrior or dungeon melee cleave? Maybe that's kind of obvious. I feel like most people would want a melee cleave if possible, because it's rough, man. It's rough for warriors. So you could stack a bunch of warriors in one shaman, and then all those warriors are going to be having an improved leveling experience. Or 2 shamans and 3 warriors or something. Or even as a rogue. Yeah, as a rogue, I'd rather be... I would, instead of leveling solo out in the open world, I'd prefer to be in a dungeon melee cleave group, yeah. Your Twitch is not working. I know, Lawmix. I know, man. I'm going to get figured out for our next stream. Do we trust the phase tagging on Wowhead? Some quest hubs like Hinterlands may be there at launch. Exactly. I'm not sure, Per. It's going to be something we just have to feel out as we go. If it is there, then... You know, we can make adjustments. You can do the chicken quest there. You can do... Oh, wait, no, that'll be there. Is it... So it's just the quest at that village? They're not going to be there right off the bat? Exactly what are we doing? We're just going through previous lists right now for Warlock. People are making comments. We're plotting. We're planning. We're going to take over the world when Classic comes out. Are there any classes that are better solo? Yeah, depending on a lot of factors. But as a general thing... Mages and hunters as a general thing. Mages and hunters are probably better solo. But again, that's only like probably the highest end of play. People are just super no life, going super hard, and again, that may not even be true. It's kind of just a lot based off your personal preference, knowledge of the game, a bunch of bajillion different things. Okay, staff options. I'm not gonna use a staff. Don't get Soul Harvester, man, because you can get the Voidwalker trinket. This is the quest reward for Warlocks, where you can get Soul Harvester, which looks really cool and iconic. You guys remember back in the day seeing Warlocks with that scythe, that cool looking scythe that usually had an enchant on it? That's Soul Harvester. But you pick this instead of getting this trinket that allows you to summon your Voidwalker with no Soul Stone. It's got a cooldown on it, but it's something you use for the entirety of vanilla. And it's always just going to be good. You run out of shards, you can make a Voidwalker and get your shards back. And you don't have to summon, an imp or whatever. So I would normally get that. But if for some reason you really needed a weapon, and being able to get a Soul Harvester would take care of both your main hand and offhand slot. And it's a guaranteed thing. You're already in Sunken Temple and you couldn't care less about getting that Voidwalker thing. Soul Harvester, that's there for you. But Soul Harvester is fashion. Is fashion? Yeah, it's high fashion for sure. Delete staff slide, no staves. Yeah, it's kind of true, but we got to put it there anyway, man. Cargos, will you update your guides after release with stuff that is confirmed? Well, this should be, by the time I put this out, everything should be accurate and good. I just got a couple days more work to do on this, so just tuning it up, making sure the leveling guide stuff is on point, pre-abyss lists are on point. Out of shards, need that void sack. Oh, actually, guys, I have to end right now. I have a meeting I got to get to right now. Shoot. Running a little behind, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today, guys. We'll continue this. We'll keep it going. I hope you guys enjoyed the content today. We're hanging out. We're talking about Classic. Classic's coming out 3 weeks. One thing, TLDR, guys, you got a lot of work ahead of you to do. So if you're feeling bored, if you're playing other games, stop, dude. Like, well, unless you want to stop and smell the roses, you guys get it, right? But if you're trying to go hard, there's a lot of stuff you can be doing productively to further that, and you know, just start working stuff out. You know, have a nice plan laid out ahead of you so that you don't have to think about that stuff when the time comes. We're gonna be there before you know it. Stress test soon. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.